Integrity refers to the quality of being honest, trustworthy, and having strong moral principles. It involves adhering to a set of values and consistently acting in accordance with those values, even when faced with challenges or temptations. Integrity is often associated with being sincere, reliable, and having a sense of honor. In various contexts, integrity can be applied. 1. Personal integrity. Personal integrity relates to an individual's adherence to their own principles and values. It involves being true to oneself, maintaining honesty and authenticity, and taking responsibility for one's actions. 2. Professional integrity. Professional integrity relates to ethical behavior and honesty in the workplace or professional setting. It involves conducting oneself with honesty, fairness, and accountability, and upholding ethical standards and organizational values. 3. Intellectual integrity. Intellectual integrity pertains to the academic or intellectual realm. It involves being honest in research, giving credit to original sources, avoiding plagiarism, and presenting information accurately and truthfully. 4. Data integrity. Data integrity refers to the accuracy, consistency, and reliability of data. It involves ensuring that data is complete, valid, and protected against unauthorized access or modification. 5. Organizational integrity. Organizational integrity refers to the values, ethics, and principles that guide an organization's conduct. It involves establishing and maintaining ethical standards, promoting transparency, and acting responsibly towards stakeholders. Integrity is highly valued in various aspects of life, including personal relationships, professional environments, and society as a whole. It builds trust, fosters credibility, and contributes to a positive reputation. Demonstrating integrity often involves making difficult choices and upholding moral principles, even in challenging circumstances. Probity in public life. Probity in public life refers to the adherence to high moral and ethical standards by individuals holding public office or serving in public positions. It involves conducting oneself with honesty, integrity, and transparency while serving the public and making decisions that affect the welfare of the community or the nation. Key aspects of probity in public life include 1. Honesty and transparency. Public officials are expected to be honest in their actions and transparent in their decision-making processes. They should provide accurate information, disclose potential conflicts of interest, and be accountable for their actions. 2. Ethical conduct. Public officials should uphold ethical principles and values, such as fairness, justice, and respect for the rule of law. They should avoid any form of corruption, bribery, or misuse of public resources. 3. Accountability and responsibility. Public officials should be accountable for their actions and decisions. They should take responsibility for any mistakes or errors and work towards rectifying them. They should also be open to scrutiny and oversight by the public and relevant authorities. 4. Serving the public interest. Public officials have a responsibility to prioritize the public interest over personal or private interests. They should make decisions and implement policies that benefit society as a whole and ensure the well-being of the citizens. 5. Avoiding conflicts of interest. Public officials should avoid situations where personal interests or relationships could influence their decision-making process. They should act impartially and objectively, making decisions solely based on the merits and the best interests of the public. Promoting probity in public life is essential for maintaining public trust and confidence in government institutions. It helps prevent corruption, ensures fairness, and enhances the overall integrity of the public sector. Governments often establish codes of conduct, ethics committees, and anti-corruption measures to uphold probity and hold public officials accountable for their actions. Attitude. Attitude refers to a person's predisposition or mental outlook towards something, which influences their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It reflects an individual's overall mindset, perspective, and approach to various aspects of life, situations, and people. Attitude can greatly impact one's actions, interactions, and overall well-being. Here are some key points to understand about attitude. 1. Mindset and beliefs. Attitude is closely related to a person's mindset and belief system. It encompasses their opinions, values, and judgments about themselves, others, and the world around them. It can be positive, negative, or neutral, and can vary across different areas of life. 2. Influence on behavior. Attitude plays a significant role in shaping an individual's behavior and actions. It affects how they approach challenges, engage with others, and respond to various situations. A positive attitude is generally associated with constructive behavior, while a negative attitude can lead to pessimism, resistance, or hostility. 3. Perceptions and interpretations. Attitude influences how individuals perceive and interpret events, experiences, and information. It can color their understanding and shape their reactions. For example, someone with a positive attitude may see setbacks as temporary obstacles, while someone with a negative attitude may view them as insurmountable failures. 4. Impact on relationships. Attitude impacts the way individuals interact with others and form relationships. A positive attitude fosters openness, empathy, and cooperation, while a negative attitude can create barriers, conflicts, and strain interactions. Attitude can influence communication styles, teamwork, and the ability to resolve conflicts effectively. 5. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Attitude can act as a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning that one's expectations and beliefs about a situation can influence the outcome. If someone maintains a positive attitude and believes in their abilities, they are more likely to achieve success. Conversely, a negative attitude can undermine one's efforts and hinder progress. 6. Change and development. Attitudes can be learned, influenced, and modified over time. Individuals have the capacity to develop and cultivate a more positive attitude through self-reflection, learning, and adopting new perspectives. This can lead to personal growth, resilience, and improved well-being. It's important to note that while attitude plays a significant role, it is not the sole determinant of outcomes. External factors, circumstances, and other people's actions also contribute to the overall picture. However, having a positive attitude generally promotes optimism, motivation, and a proactive approach to life's challenges. Problem-solving approach to various issues and conflicts faced by him in dealing with society. When facing various issues and conflicts while dealing with society, adopting a problem-solving approach can be helpful. Here are some steps to consider. 1. Define the problem. Clearly identify the specific issue or conflict you are facing. Take the time to understand its root causes, the parties involved, and the potential impact it has on individuals or the community. 2. Gather information. Seek relevant information and perspectives from multiple sources. This may involve conducting research, talking to people involved or affected by the issue, and considering different viewpoints. Understanding the context and underlying factors will enable you to make informed decisions. 3. Analyze and assess. Break down the problem into its components and analyze each aspect. Consider the potential consequences, risks, and benefits associated with different solutions. Assess the feasibility of various options and prioritize them based on their potential impact and alignment with ethical principles. 4. Generate solutions. Brainstorm a range of potential solutions to address the issue or resolve the conflict. Encourage creative thinking and consider different approaches. Be open to suggestions from others and explore innovative ideas. 5. Evaluate alternatives. Assess each solution based on its feasibility, effectiveness, and alignment with the values and objectives of the society. Consider the short-term and long-term implications of each option. Prioritize solutions that promote fairness, inclusivity, and the overall well-being of the community. 6. Implement the solution. Develop an action plan to implement the chosen solution. Assign responsibilities, set timelines, and establish clear communication channels. Seek collaboration and engage relevant stakeholders to gain support and ensure successful implementation. 7. Monitor and adapt. Continuously monitor the progress of the implemented solution and be open to feedback. Evaluate its effectiveness and make adjustments as needed. Regularly communicate the progress and outcomes to relevant parties, fostering transparency and accountability. 8. Seek mediation and collaboration. In cases where conflicts persist or complex issues arise, consider involving neutral mediators or facilitators. Collaborate with stakeholders to find common ground, promote dialogue, and work towards mutually beneficial solutions. 9. Reflect and learn. After the issue or conflict has been addressed, take the time to reflect on the experience. Identify lessons learned, celebrate successes, and identify areas for improvement. Apply these insights to future situations, enhancing your problem-solving skills and promoting positive change within society. Remember, addressing societal issues and conflicts requires empathy, active listening, and a willingness to understand diverse perspectives. It is important to approach problem-solving with an open mind, respect for others, and a commitment to fairness and justice. Ethics and human interface. Ethics and human interface refer to the interaction between ethical principles and human behavior, particularly in the context of decision-making and actions that affect individuals and society as a whole. It involves considering ethical considerations and values when dealing with various aspects of human interaction and decision-making processes. Here are some key points to understand about ethics and human interface. 1. Ethical principles. Ethics provides a framework for determining what is morally right and wrong, guiding human behavior and decision-making. It encompasses principles such as honesty, integrity, fairness, respect for others, and responsibility. Ethical principles help ensure that human interactions and decisions are grounded in values that promote the well-being and dignity of individuals and society. 2. Decision-making. Ethics plays a crucial role in decision-making processes. When making choices that impact others, individuals should consider the ethical implications and strive to make decisions that are morally sound. This involves evaluating the potential consequences, weighing competing values, and selecting courses of action that align with ethical principles. 3. Human dignity and rights. The human interface aspect of ethics emphasizes the respect for human dignity and the recognition of fundamental rights. It involves treating individuals with fairness, equality, and empathy. This includes promoting inclusivity, addressing discrimination, upholding human rights, and ensuring equal opportunities for all members of society. 4. Responsibility and accountability. Ethics emphasizes the responsibility and accountability of individuals for their actions and decisions. It encourages individuals to take ownership of their choices, be aware of the impact they have on others, and be prepared to justify and accept the consequences of their actions. 5. Balancing conflicting interests. In the human interface, ethics helps in addressing situations where there may be conflicting interests or values. It requires considering the perspectives of different stakeholders and finding a balance between competing interests. This may involve compromise, negotiation, and seeking common ground to ensure a fair and just outcome. 6. Ethical leadership. Ethical considerations are particularly relevant in leadership roles. Ethical leaders prioritize ethical values, set a positive example, and promote ethical behavior within organizations and communities. They inspire trust, encourage open communication, and make decisions that align with ethical principles. 7. Professional and personal ethics. Ethics and human interface extend to both professional and personal spheres. In professional settings, ethical conduct involves adhering to professional codes of ethics, maintaining integrity, and upholding the interests of clients or the public. In personal life, ethics guide individual behavior and relationships, shaping interactions with family, friends, and the broader community. Promoting ethics and fostering a positive human interface is essential for creating a just, harmonious, and inclusive society. It requires individuals to reflect on their actions, consider the impact on others, and strive to make choices that align with ethical principles. Organizations and institutions also play a role in cultivating ethical cultures, establishing codes of conduct, and providing ethical guidance to individuals. Essence. The essence refers to the fundamental nature or inherent qualities of something. It represents the core or essential characteristics that define the identity, purpose, or existence of a person, object, idea, or phenomenon. The essence encapsulates the most significant and distinctive aspects, often considered timeless and unchanging. Here are a few key points to understand about the essence. 1. Identity. The essence provides a sense of identity and uniqueness to an entity. It encompasses the fundamental qualities or traits that make something what it truly is, distinguishing it from other things or beings. The essence represents the essence's true nature or what it is at its core. 2. Unchanging nature. The essence is often associated with unchanging or enduring qualities. It remains consistent and constant, unaffected by external circumstances or superficial changes. It represents the underlying and timeless aspects that define the true essence of something, regardless of variations in appearance or form. 3. Core purpose or meaning. The essence can also refer to the fundamental purpose or meaning of something. It represents the reason for existence or the intrinsic value that drives its being. Understanding the essence of something allows for a deeper comprehension of its significance and enables one to align actions and decisions accordingly. 4. Distillation of essential qualities. Identifying and understanding the essence involves distilling the most important, defining qualities from a complex entity. It requires focusing on the fundamental aspects that are considered essential and disregarding superficial or less significant characteristics. 5. Essence and philosophy. The concept of essence has been extensively explored in philosophy. Philosophers have debated the nature of essence and its relationship to existence, reality, and metaphysics. It is a fundamental concept in various philosophical schools of thought, such as essentialism and existentialism. 6. Personal essence. Essence can also pertain to an individual's true nature or authentic self. It represents the core qualities, values, and beliefs that define a person's identity and character. Discovering and living in alignment with one's personal essence often leads to a sense of fulfillment and authenticity. Understanding the essence of things can provide deeper insights and appreciation for their nature, purpose, and significance. It allows individuals to connect with the fundamental aspects and values that shape their understanding of the world and themselves. By recognizing the essence, one can strive for authenticity, meaningful connections, and a more profound understanding of the world around them. Determinants and consequences of ethics in human actions. The determinants and consequences of ethics in human actions play a crucial role in shaping individual and collective behavior. Let's explore each aspect. Determinants of ethics in human actions. 1. Personal values and beliefs. Personal values and beliefs heavily influence ethical decision making. These are shaped by cultural, social, and familial factors and can vary from person to person. They serve as a foundation for ethical judgments and guide individuals in determining right from wrong. 2. Moral development. Moral development refers to the process through which individuals develop their ethical understanding and reasoning. It is influenced by factors such as education, upbringing, experiences, and exposure to diverse perspectives. The stage of moral development reached by an individual can impact their ethical decision-making and actions. 3. Social and cultural factors. The social and cultural context in which individuals live plays a significant role in shaping their ethical behavior. Norms, customs, laws, and social expectations influence how individuals perceive and respond to ethical dilemmas. Peer pressure, societal norms, and cultural values can either reinforce or challenge ethical behavior. 4. Organizational and institutional culture. The culture within organizations and institutions can significantly impact ethical behavior. The presence of strong ethical values, ethical leadership, and a supportive ethical climate can foster ethical decision-making and actions. Conversely, an unethical organizational culture or pressure to achieve specific outcomes can compromise ethical behavior. Consequences of ethics in human actions. 1. Personal integrity and well-being. Upholding ethical principles in human actions contributes to personal integrity and a sense of self-respect. It promotes self-esteem and a feeling of coherence between one's values and actions. Living ethically can enhance personal well-being and a positive sense of identity. 2. Trust and relationships. Ethical behavior fosters trust in interpersonal relationships, communities, and institutions. Acting ethically builds credibility and fosters open communication. Trust is vital for healthy relationships, effective teamwork, and collaborative problem-solving. 3. Social cohesion. Ethical actions contribute to social cohesion and a sense of collective well-being. When individuals and communities prioritize ethical behavior, it leads to a more harmonious and just society. Ethical actions can promote inclusivity, fairness, and social justice. 4. Reputation and image. Ethical actions contribute to building a positive reputation and image, both for individuals and organizations. Ethical behavior enhances credibility, attracts trust, and can have a positive impact on personal and professional opportunities. 5. Legal and financial consequences. Unethical actions may have legal and financial consequences. Violating laws, regulations, or professional codes of conduct can result in legal penalties, damage to reputation, and financial losses. Compliance with ethical standards helps mitigate these risks. 6. Impact on society and the environment. Ethical actions have broader consequences for society and the environment. Ethical choices can promote sustainable practices, environmental stewardship, and social responsibility. Acting ethically contributes to the greater good, addressing societal challenges, and minimizing harm to the environment. It is important to note that the consequences of ethics in human actions can vary depending on the specific context, cultural values, and individual perspectives. However, overall, ethics play a crucial role in shaping individual behavior, fostering trust, and contributing to the well-being of individuals and society as a whole. Dimensions of ethics. Ethics encompasses various dimensions that help understand and analyze ethical issues and dilemmas. These dimensions provide different perspectives and frameworks for evaluating ethical choices and actions. Here are some key dimensions of ethics. 1. Normative ethics. Normative ethics focuses on establishing principles and rules for determining what is morally right or wrong. It involves theories and frameworks such as deontology, duty-based ethics, consequentialism, consequence-based ethics, and virtue ethics, focus on character and virtues. Normative ethics provides guidelines for ethical decision-making and offers criteria for evaluating actions. 2. Descriptive ethics. Descriptive ethics seeks to describe and analyze existing ethical beliefs, values, and practices within a particular society or culture. It examines how people perceive and behave ethically in various contexts. Descriptive ethics helps understand the diversity of ethical perspectives and the factors influencing ethical behavior. 3. Metaethics. Metaethics explores the nature of ethical concepts, language, and reasoning. It delves into questions about the origins of moral values, the meaning of ethical terms, and the possibility of moral knowledge. Metaethical inquiries examine the foundations of ethical claims and investigate the nature of moral judgments. 4. Applied ethics. Applied ethics focuses on the application of ethical principles and theories to specific fields or areas of human activity. It deals with ethical issues in various domains, such as business ethics, medical ethics, environmental ethics, and technology ethics. Applied ethics aims to provide guidance for ethical decision-making within these specialized contexts. 5. Ethical relativism and universalism. Ethical relativism suggests that moral judgments are relative to individuals, cultures, or societies. It asserts that there are no universal moral principles or absolute ethical truths. In contrast, ethical universalism posits the existence of objective and universal moral principles that apply to all individuals and cultures. 6. Ethical decision-making models. Ethical decision-making models offer systematic frameworks to analyze ethical dilemmas and make morally informed choices. These models often involve steps such as identifying the problem, gathering information, considering ethical principles, evaluating alternatives, and taking action. Popular models include the utilitarian approach, the rights-based approach, and the ethical decision-making frameworks proposed by philosophers like Immanuel Kant or John Rawls. 7. Ethical responsibilities and obligations. This dimension focuses on the ethical responsibilities and obligations that individuals, organizations, and societies have towards others. It explores concepts like duty, rights, justice, fairness, and the balance of competing interests. Ethical responsibilities extend to considerations of social justice, human rights, and the welfare of future generations. Understanding these dimensions of ethics allows for a comprehensive analysis of ethical issues, informed decision-making, and the ability to engage in ethical discourse. It helps individuals navigate complex moral dilemmas, evaluate conflicting values, and strive for ethical behavior in various personal, professional, and societal contexts. Ethics in private and public relationships. Ethics play a crucial role in both private and public relationships, guiding individuals' behaviors, interactions, and decision-making. Here is a breakdown of ethics in these two types of relationships. Private relationships. 1. Trust and honesty. Ethical behavior is essential in private relationships, such as friendships, romantic partnerships, and family relationships. Trust and honesty form the foundation of these relationships, and ethical conduct fosters open communication and transparency. 2. Respect for autonomy. Ethical considerations in private relationships involve respecting each individual's autonomy and personal boundaries. It includes seeking consent, valuing personal choices, and refraining from actions that violate the autonomy or dignity of others. 3. Loyalty and fidelity. Ethical behavior in private relationships often includes commitments to loyalty and fidelity. This involves being faithful, keeping promises, and maintaining confidentiality, creating a sense of security and trust within the relationship. 4. Empathy and compassion. Ethical conduct in private relationships involves practicing empathy and compassion. It entails understanding and valuing the emotions and needs of others, supporting them during difficult times, and showing care and concern. 5. Fairness and justice. Ethical considerations in private relationships include fairness and justice. Treating others with fairness, equity, and impartiality is important for maintaining healthy and harmonious relationships. Public relationships. 1. Public trust. In public relationships, such as those between citizens and public officials or institutions, ethics is crucial for maintaining public trust. Public officials have an ethical responsibility to act in the best interest of the public, be accountable for their actions, and avoid conflicts of interest. 2. Transparency and accountability. Ethical behavior in public relationships requires transparency and accountability. Public officials should provide accurate information, make decisions in a transparent manner, and be accountable for their actions and the use of public resources. 3. Impartiality and fairness. Ethical conduct in public relationships involves impartiality and fairness. Public officials should make decisions and provide services without bias or favoritism, ensuring equal treatment for all individuals and avoiding any form of discrimination. 4. Integrity and moral courage. Ethics in public relationships requires integrity, And moral courage. Public officials should act with honesty, integrity, and the courage to stand up for what is right, even in the face of challenges or pressure. 5. Respect for human rights and welfare. Ethical considerations in public relationships include respecting and promoting human rights and the well-being of the public. Public officials should work towards creating a just and inclusive society, protecting individual rights, and addressing social issues that affect the welfare of citizens. In both private and public relationships, ethical behavior is essential for fostering trust, respect, and mutual understanding. It promotes healthy and meaningful relationships, contributes to a harmonious society, and ensures the well-being and dignity of individuals. Human values. Human values are principles or beliefs that are considered important and desirable for individuals and society as a whole. They guide human behavior, choices, and interactions, and shape the moral and ethical framework within which individuals live. Human values serve as a foundation for personal growth, social cohesion, and the pursuit of a just and harmonious society. Here are some commonly recognized human values. 1. Integrity, upholding honesty, sincerity, and moral principles in one's actions and interactions. Integrity involves aligning one's behavior with their values and being consistent in their ethical conduct. 2. Respect, showing consideration, appreciation, and acceptance for oneself and others. Respect involves recognizing the inherent worth, dignity, and rights of every individual, regardless of differences. 3. Responsibility, taking ownership of one's actions, choices, and obligations. Responsibility involves being accountable for one's behavior, fulfilling commitments, and contributing to the well-being of others and the environment. 4. Compassion, demonstrating empathy, understanding towards others. Compassion involves recognizing and alleviating the suffering of others, showing care and concern, and promoting well-being. 5. Equality, valuing fairness, justice, and equal treatment for all individuals. Equality involves recognizing and challenging biases, discrimination, and social inequalities, and working towards creating a more inclusive and equitable society. 6. Tolerance, embracing diversity, accepting different perspectives, and fostering a climate of open-mindedness. Tolerance involves respecting and valuing differences in culture, religion, opinions, and lifestyles, while promoting mutual understanding and peaceful coexistence. 7. Love, nurturing and expressing affection, care, and deep connection towards oneself and others. Love involves cultivating positive relationships, empathy, and a sense of belonging. 8. Wisdom, seeking knowledge, critical thinking, and applying discernment in decision-making. Wisdom involves understanding complex situations, considering long-term consequences, and making informed choices. 9. Freedom, valuing individual liberties, autonomy, and the pursuit of personal growth. Freedom involves respecting the rights of individuals to express themselves, make choices, and live according to their values, as long as it does not harm others. 10. Environmental stewardship, recognizing the importance of preserving and protecting the environment for current and future generations. Environmental stewardship involves promoting sustainable practices, conserving natural resources, and reducing ecological impact. Human values are not universally agreed upon and may vary across cultures, religions, and individuals. However, they provide a framework for ethical decision-making, interpersonal relationships, and contributing to a just and compassionate society. Embracing and practicing human values can lead to personal fulfillment, stronger communities, and a more harmonious world. Lessons from the lives and teachings of great leaders. The lives and teachings of great leaders offer valuable lessons that can inspire and guide individuals in their own personal and professional journeys. Here are some lessons we can learn from the lives and teachings of great leaders. 1. Vision and purpose. Great leaders have a clear vision and purpose that drives their actions. They inspire others by articulating a compelling vision of a better future and aligning their efforts towards achieving it. Lesson: develop a clear vision for your life or organization and work towards it with passion and determination. 2. Integrity and ethics. Great leaders demonstrate high ethical standards and integrity. They act with honesty, transparency, and fairness, earning the trust and respect of others. Lesson: uphold ethical principles in all aspects of your life, and let integrity be the foundation of your actions. 3. Resilience and perseverance. Great leaders face challenges and setbacks but display resilience and perseverance. They learn from failures, adapt to changing circumstances, and maintain a positive attitude. Lesson: embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth, persevere in the face of obstacles, and maintain resilience to achieve your goals. 4. Empathy and emotional intelligence. Great leaders understand and empathize with the needs and emotions of others. They cultivate strong emotional intelligence, listen actively, and build meaningful relationships. Lesson: develop your empathy and emotional intelligence to connect with others, understand their perspectives, and foster collaboration. 5. Courage and risk-taking. Great leaders display courage and are willing to take calculated risks. They step out of their comfort zones, make tough decisions, and challenge the status quo. Lesson: embrace courage, be willing to take calculated risks, and embrace change to achieve personal and professional growth. 6. Lifelong learning. Great leaders have a thirst for knowledge and commit to continuous learning. They seek feedback, embrace new ideas, and adapt to evolving circumstances. Lesson: cultivate a mindset of lifelong learning, seek opportunities for personal and professional development, and stay open to new ideas and perspectives. 7. Servant leadership. Great leaders prioritize the needs of others and serve their communities or organizations. They empower and support others, fostering a culture of collaboration and growth. Lesson: embrace servant leadership by putting the needs of others first and fostering a supportive environment for those around you. 8. Collaboration and teamwork. Great leaders recognize the value of collaboration and teamwork. They build diverse teams, encourage open communication, and leverage collective strengths. Lesson: foster a culture of collaboration, value diverse perspectives, and work collaboratively to achieve common goals. 9. Lead by example. Great leaders lead by example and set a positive role model for others. They embody the qualities and values they expect from others, inspiring and motivating their teams. Lesson: be the change you want to see in others, and lead by example with integrity, humility, and passion. 10. Legacy and impact. Great leaders focus on leaving a positive impact and creating a lasting legacy. They inspire others to continue the work and make a difference in the world. Lesson: reflect on the legacy you want to leave behind and strive to make a positive impact on the lives of others and society as a whole. By studying the lives and teachings of great leaders, we can gain valuable insights and inspiration to develop our own leadership skills, values, and impact on the world around us. Reformers and administrators. Reformers and administrators play distinct but interconnected roles in shaping and improving society. Here is an overview of each role. Reformers. Reformers are individuals who advocate for and initiate changes to address social, political, or economic issues. They identify areas of injustice, inequality, or inefficiency and work towards bringing about positive transformations. Here are key characteristics and contributions of reformers. 1. Social advocacy. Reformers champion the rights and well-being of marginalized groups, promoting social justice and equality. They advocate for changes in laws, policies, and societal norms to create a more inclusive and equitable society. 2. Addressing systemic issues. Reformers tackle systemic issues and structures that perpetuate inequalities or hinder progress. They strive to reshape systems and institutions to better serve the needs and interests of the people. 3. Grassroots activism. Many reformers engage in grassroots activism, mobilizing communities, and raising awareness about pressing issues. They work to build support, empower individuals, and create momentum for change. 4. Policy development. Reformers contribute to the formulation and implementation of policies and programs that address societal challenges. They provide evidence-based research, propose innovative solutions, and advocate for policy changes to achieve their reform objectives. 5. Collaboration and coalition building. Reformers often collaborate with like-minded individuals, organizations, and stakeholders to amplify their impact. They build coalitions, alliances, and partnerships to pool resources, expertise, and influence for collective reform efforts. Administrators. Administrators are individuals responsible for managing and overseeing the operations and functions of organizations, institutions, or government agencies. They ensure the efficient and effective delivery of services and implementation of policies. Here are key characteristics and contributions of administrators. 1. Strategic planning and management. Administrators develop long-term visions, goals, and strategies for their organizations. They create operational plans, allocate resources, and establish systems to achieve organizational objectives. 2. Policy implementation. Administrators play a crucial role in implementing policies and programs developed by policymakers. They translate policies into action, establish protocols and procedures, and monitor progress towards desired outcomes. 3. Resource allocation and budgeting. Administrators are responsible for managing resources, including budgeting, financial management, and personnel allocation. They make decisions on resource allocation to ensure optimal utilization and alignment with organizational priorities. 4. Stakeholder engagement. Administrators engage with stakeholders, including employees, clients, and community members, to gather input, address concerns, and foster collaboration. They build relationships and maintain effective communication to ensure organizational success. 5. Performance evaluation and quality assurance. Administrators monitor and evaluate the performance and effectiveness of their organizations or agencies. They establish metrics, collect data, and analyze outcomes to ensure accountability, identify areas for improvement, and maintain quality standards. 6. Crisis management and problem solving. Administrators are responsible for handling crises, emergencies, and unexpected challenges. They develop contingency plans, make decisions under pressure, and coordinate responses to ensure the continuity of operations and the well-being of stakeholders. Both reformers and administrators are essential in creating positive change and improving society. Reformers challenge the status quo, advocate for reform, and drive transformational changes, while administrators ensure the effective implementation of policies, manage resources, and drive organizational success. Collaboration and coordination between reformers and administrators are crucial for achieving meaningful and sustainable progress. Role of family, society, and educational institutions in inculcating values. Family, society, and educational institutions play vital roles in inculcating values in individuals. Each of these institutions has a unique influence and contributes to the development of a person's values and ethical framework. Here is a breakdown of their roles. Family. 1. Primary socialization. The family is often the first and most influential socialization agent in a person's life. It plays a critical role in imparting values, beliefs, and moral principles to children through direct interactions, role modeling, and teaching. 2. Nurturing environment. Families create a nurturing environment that fosters the development of values. Through love, care, and support, families teach empathy, compassion, respect, and other important values that form the foundation of a person's character. 3. Moral guidance. Families provide moral guidance by setting boundaries, establishing rules, and teaching right from wrong. They help children understand the consequences of their actions and encourage ethical behavior through reinforcement and discipline. Society. 1. Cultural norms and expectations. Society shapes values through cultural norms, customs, and expectations. It influences individuals' understanding of what is considered acceptable or unacceptable behavior. Societal values often reflect shared beliefs about morality, justice, and social order. 2. Socialization beyond the family. As individuals grow, they are exposed to various social groups, communities, and institutions. These external influences, such as peers, neighbors, religious communities, and media, contribute to the formation and reinforcement of values. Educational institutions. 1. Formal education. Educational institutions, such as schools and universities, have a significant role in imparting knowledge and values. They provide structured learning environments where students are exposed to a broad range of subjects, including ethics, character education, and social responsibility. 2. Curriculum and teaching practices. Educational institutions develop curricula and teaching practices that promote the cultivation of values. They incorporate moral and ethical education across different subjects and engage students in discussions, activities, and projects that foster ethical thinking and behavior. 3. Role modeling and guidance. Teachers and educators serve as role models and mentors, influencing students' values through their behavior, interactions, and guidance. They provide opportunities for students to develop empathy, critical thinking, and social skills, promoting values such as respect, honesty, and cooperation. 4. Ethical policies and practices. Educational institutions establish codes of conduct, ethical guidelines, and policies that promote a positive ethical environment. They address issues like bullying, discrimination, and plagiarism, reinforcing values and principles that create a safe and inclusive learning environment. It is important to note that the roles of family, society, and educational institutions are interconnected, and they collectively contribute to the values instilled in individuals. A collaborative effort is needed to ensure consistent messages and reinforcement of positive values across these institutions. By working together, they can create a nurturing and ethical environment that supports the holistic development of individuals and cultivates responsible and ethical citizens. Attitude, content. Attitude refers to the content of a person's thoughts, feelings, and beliefs towards a particular subject, situation, or individual. It represents the specific opinions, judgments, and evaluations that shape how someone perceives and responds to the world around them. The content of an attitude includes 1. Beliefs. Attitudes are influenced by a person's beliefs, which are the cognitive component of attitudes. Beliefs are the information or opinions held about a particular subject or concept. For example, someone may hold the belief that exercise is important for maintaining good health. 2. Evaluations. Attitudes involve evaluations, which are the affective or emotional component of attitudes. Evaluations reflect the individual's positive or negative feelings towards a particular object, person, or idea. For example, someone may have a positive evaluation of environmentally friendly practices. 3. Opinions. Attitudes encompass opinions, which are the expressed judgments or views regarding a specific topic. Opinions are based on a person's beliefs and evaluations and are often communicated through verbal or written expression. For example, someone may have a strong opinion about a political issue. 4. Preferences. Attitudes can involve preferences, which are the choices or inclinations towards certain options or alternatives. Preferences reflect the individual's liking or inclination towards specific objects, activities, or ideas. For example, someone may have a preference for a particular type of music or cuisine. 5. Stereotypes and prejudices. Attitudes can also encompass stereotypes and prejudices, which are generalized beliefs and negative attitudes towards specific groups or individuals based on characteristics such as race, ethnicity, gender, or religion. Stereotypes and prejudices can influence a person's thoughts, feelings, and behavior towards others. 6. Behavioral intentions. Attitudes often include behavioral intentions, which are the individual's inclination or plan to act in a certain way based on their attitudes. Behavioral intentions reflect the link between attitudes and subsequent actions. For example, someone with a positive attitude towards recycling may have the intention to actively recycle their waste. The content of attitudes can vary greatly across individuals and situations, reflecting the diversity of thoughts, beliefs, and preferences held by people. Attitudes can be influenced and shaped by personal experiences, social influences, cultural norms, and other environmental factors. Understanding the content of attitudes helps to gain insights into how individuals perceive and respond to different aspects of life and informs efforts to influence attitudes towards positive change. Attitude, structure. Attitude has a structure that consists of 3 key components: cognitive, affective, and behavioral. These components interact and shape a person's overall attitude towards a particular object, person, or situation. Here is a breakdown of the structure of attitude. 1. Cognitive component. The cognitive component of attitude involves the beliefs, thoughts, and information that a person holds about the object of their attitude. It reflects the individual's knowledge, understanding, and perceptions related to the specific subject. For example, if someone has a positive attitude towards climate change, their cognitive component may include beliefs that human activity contributes to global warming. 2. Affective component. The affective component of attitude involves the emotional or affective response that an individual has towards the object of their attitude. It reflects the person's feelings, emotions, likes, dislikes, and evaluations related to the specific subject. For example, someone with a positive attitude towards animals may experience feelings of empathy, affection, and joy when interacting with them. 3. Behavioral component. The behavioral component of attitude involves the individual's behavioral tendencies or actions towards the object of their attitude. It reflects the person's inclinations, intentions, or actual behaviors related to the specific subject. For example, someone with a positive attitude towards physical fitness may engage in regular exercise and adopt a healthy lifestyle. The 3 components of attitude are interconnected and influence one another. Changes in one component can impact the others. For example, if a person's beliefs, cognitive component, about a certain subject change, it can affect their emotional response, affective component, and subsequent behaviors, behavioral component, towards that subject. It is important to note that attitudes are not always consistent across all 3 components. Sometimes, there may be a discrepancy between a person's beliefs, emotions, and behaviors towards a particular subject. Attitude change efforts often aim to align these components for a more coherent and consistent attitude. Understanding the structure of attitudes helps in comprehending the complexity and multidimensionality of attitudes. It provides insights into how attitudes are formed, maintained, and potentially changed. By addressing the cognitive, affective, and behavioral components, interventions can be designed to influence attitudes and promote positive attitudes towards desired outcomes. Attitude, function. The function of attitude refers to the role that attitudes play in guiding and influencing individuals' thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Attitudes serve several key functions that help individuals navigate their social and cognitive experiences. Here are some important functions of attitude. 1. Knowledge and organization. Attitudes help individuals organize and structure their knowledge and beliefs about the world. They provide a framework for understanding and categorizing information, making it easier to process and remember new information related to the attitude object. Attitudes act as mental shortcuts that aid in making sense of complex social environments. 2. Evaluative function. Attitudes serve an evaluative function by providing a positive or negative assessment of objects, individuals, or ideas. They shape how individuals perceive and emotionally respond to different aspects of their environment. Attitudes help people form preferences and make judgments about the desirability or worthiness of various objects or concepts. 3. Self-expression and identity. Attitudes allow individuals to express their values, beliefs, and identity to others. They serve as markers of personal identity and help individuals signal their membership in certain social groups or affiliations. Attitudes can be a way for individuals to communicate their social, cultural, and personal identity to others. 4. Social function. Attitudes play a social function by influencing how individuals relate to others and form social connections. They help individuals navigate social interactions by guiding their behavior towards conformity or differentiation from others based on shared or divergent attitudes. Attitudes can facilitate the formation of social bonds or act as barriers to social cohesion. 5. Utilitarian function. Attitudes can serve a utilitarian function by helping individuals achieve certain goals or outcomes. They can guide decision-making and behavior by aligning actions with desired outcomes or rewards. Attitudes act as motivators by influencing individuals to pursue or avoid certain objects or actions based on their perceived consequences. 6. Defense function. Attitudes can serve a defense function by protecting individuals' self-esteem and psychological well-being. They help individuals maintain consistency and coherence in their thoughts and behaviors, reducing cognitive dissonance or discomfort caused by conflicting beliefs or attitudes. 7. Adaptation and survival. Attitudes can facilitate adaptation and survival by guiding individuals' responses to their environment. They help individuals assess potential threats or opportunities and adjust their behavior accordingly. Attitudes act as a cognitive filter that influences how individuals perceive and respond to stimuli in their environment. Understanding the various functions of attitudes provides insights into why individuals hold and maintain particular attitudes and how they influence behavior. Attitudes serve multiple purposes, ranging from cognitive organization to self-expression, and from social interaction to adaptation. Recognizing the functions of attitudes is valuable in shaping attitudes through targeted interventions, promoting positive attitudes, and understanding the role of attitudes in human cognition and behavior. Attitude influence and relation with thought and behavior. Attitude, thought, and behavior are interconnected and influence one another in a dynamic relationship. Attitudes shape thoughts and beliefs, which, in turn, influence behavior. Here is a closer look at the influence and relationship between attitudes, thoughts, and behavior. 1. Attitude influence on thoughts. Times attitudes serve as filters or lenses through which individuals interpret and make sense of information and experiences. They shape the way individuals perceive and evaluate stimuli, events, or situations. Times attitudes can influence the formation of beliefs and opinions about specific objects, individuals, or concepts. For example, if someone holds a positive attitude towards a particular political party, they are more likely to develop favorable thoughts and beliefs about its policies or candidates. 2. Thought influence on attitudes. Times thoughts and cognitive processes can influence the formation, reinforcement, or change of attitudes. When individuals engage in critical thinking, self-reflection, or exposure to new information, it can lead to shifts in attitudes. Times rationalization and cognitive dissonance theories suggest that individuals may adjust their attitudes to align with their thoughts or behaviors to reduce discomfort or maintain consistency. For example, if someone engages in a behavior that contradicts their existing attitude, they may adjust their attitude to justify or align with their behavior. 3. Attitude influence on behavior. Times attitudes can have a significant impact on behavior. Attitudes provide the predisposition or inclination to act in a certain way. They guide and motivate behavior by aligning actions with the perceived desirability or value associated with the attitude object. Times the theory of planned behavior suggests that attitudes, along with subjective norms and perceived behavioral control, influence individuals' intention to engage in a behavior, which subsequently affects actual behavior. For example, if someone has a positive attitude towards recycling, they are more likely to engage in recycling behaviors. 4. Behavior influence on attitudes. Times behavior can influence attitudes through a process called cognitive dissonance. When individuals engage in behaviors that are inconsistent with their existing attitudes, it can create a state of discomfort. To reduce this dissonance, individuals may adjust their attitudes to align with their behavior. Times observing one's own behavior can also provide feedback that influences attitudes. If individuals observe positive outcomes or rewards resulting from a behavior, it can reinforce positive attitudes towards that behavior. Overall, attitudes, thoughts, and behavior are interconnected and mutually influence each other. Attitudes shape thoughts and beliefs, which, in turn, guide and influence behavior. At the same time, behavior and cognitive processes can impact the formation, reinforcement, or adjustment of attitudes. Recognizing the interplay between attitudes, thoughts, and behavior is essential for understanding human behavior and for promoting positive attitude change and behavior change in various contexts. Moral attitudes. Moral attitudes refer to the beliefs, evaluations, and behaviors that individuals hold regarding what is right or wrong, good or bad, and morally acceptable or unacceptable. These attitudes guide individuals' moral judgments and influence their ethical decision-making and behavior. Here are some key aspects of moral attitudes. 1. Moral values. Moral attitudes are rooted in moral values, which are deeply held beliefs about what is morally right or wrong. These values are often shaped by cultural, social, religious, and personal factors and serve as guiding principles for ethical behavior. 2. Moral judgment. Moral attitudes influence individuals' moral judgments, which involve evaluating the moral worth or ethical appropriateness of actions, intentions, or consequences. Moral judgments reflect individuals' perceptions of whether something is morally permissible, obligatory, or prohibited. 3. Moral responsibility. Moral attitudes influence individuals' sense of moral responsibility. They shape individuals' beliefs about their obligations and duties towards others, as well as their commitment to act in ways that promote fairness, justice, and the well-being of others. 4. Empathy and compassion. Moral attitudes often include a strong emphasis on empathy and compassion. These attitudes involve recognizing and valuing the emotions, needs, and welfare of others. Empathy and compassion motivate individuals to consider the impact of their actions on others and to act in ways that minimize harm and promote well-being. 5. Moral relativism and universalism. Moral attitudes can be influenced by perspectives on moral relativism or universalism. Moral relativism suggests that moral judgments are subjective and vary across individuals or cultures, while moral universalism posits the existence of objective and universal moral principles applicable to all. 6. Ethical behavior. Moral attitudes shape individuals' ethical decision-making and behavior. They guide individuals' choices and actions, providing a moral compass for determining the right course of action in ethical dilemmas. 7. Moral development. Moral attitudes and ethical behavior can evolve and develop over time through a process known as moral development. Moral development is influenced by factors such as cognitive abilities, socialization, experiences, and exposure to diverse moral perspectives. Moral attitudes play a crucial role in shaping individuals' ethical beliefs, judgments, and actions. They provide a framework for evaluating moral issues, making ethical decisions, and guiding behavior in various personal, professional, and societal contexts. Recognizing and cultivating positive moral attitudes can contribute to the development of a more ethical and just society. Political attitudes. Political attitudes refer to the beliefs, values, opinions, and preferences that individuals hold regarding political issues, ideologies, and systems. They shape individuals' political behavior, voting choices, and engagement in political activities. Here are some key aspects of political attitudes. 1. Political ideologies. Political attitudes often align with specific political ideologies such as liberalism, conservatism, socialism, or libertarianism. These ideologies encompass a set of beliefs and values about the role of government, individual rights, economic systems, social justice, and other political issues. 2. Party affiliation. Political attitudes can be influenced by party affiliation. Individuals may align themselves with a particular political party based on shared values, policy positions, or party platforms. Party affiliation often influences voting behavior and political engagement. 3. Political values. Political attitudes are rooted in political values, which reflect individuals' beliefs about fundamental principles and goals of governance. Political values can include liberty, equality, justice, fairness, or other principles that guide political decision-making. 4. Policy preferences. Political attitudes shape individuals' preferences for specific policy positions on issues such as healthcare, taxation, education, immigration, environmental regulations, or social policies. These preferences guide individuals' support for particular policies and influence their engagement in political debates and activism. 5. Partisanship. Political attitudes can lead to partisan identification, where individuals develop strong emotional attachments and loyalty to a specific political party. Partisanship influences individuals' perceptions of political issues, their trust in political leaders, and their willingness to support and defend their party's positions. 6. Political trust. Political attitudes also influence individuals' levels of trust in political institutions, government officials, and the political system as a whole. Positive political attitudes may foster trust, while negative attitudes can lead to skepticism or cynicism towards political authorities. 7. Political engagement. Political attitudes influence individuals' level of political engagement and participation. Positive attitudes towards politics and a sense of efficacy and importance in the political process can lead to increased involvement in activities such as voting, joining political organizations, or participating in protests and social movements. 8. Political tolerance. Political attitudes can affect individuals' tolerance for diverse political opinions and perspectives. Positive attitudes towards pluralism and open dialogue may lead to greater tolerance for differing political views, while negative attitudes can lead to polarization and the rejection of opposing opinions. Political attitudes are shaped by a combination of personal experiences, socialization, education, media influence, and cultural and historical factors. They are dynamic and can change over time in response to new information, social trends, or shifts in political climates. Understanding political attitudes is crucial for understanding political behavior, voting patterns, and the dynamics of political systems. Social influence. Social influence refers to the ways in which individuals are influenced by others within their social environment. It encompasses the processes through which people's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are shaped by the presence, actions, and opinions of others. Social influence can occur through various mechanisms, including conformity, compliance, and obedience. Here are some key aspects of social influence. 1. Conformity. Conformity refers to the tendency of individuals to adjust their thoughts, beliefs, or behaviors to align with those of a larger group or social norm. People may conform to avoid social disapproval, gain acceptance, or because they believe the group is more knowledgeable or correct. Conformity can occur through explicit requests or through implicit social pressures. 2. Compliance. Compliance involves individuals conforming to the requests or demands of others, often due to direct social pressure or a desire for rewards or approval. Compliance can be influenced by various factors, such as authority, reciprocity, social norms, or persuasive tactics. Individuals may comply even if the requested behavior conflicts with their personal beliefs or values. 3. Obedience. Obedience involves individuals following the commands or orders of someone in a position of authority. Obedience can occur in structured hierarchical relationships, such as in the context of institutions, organizations, or systems of power. Obedience to authority figures can lead individuals to engage in actions they may not have otherwise chosen. 4. Informational influence. Informational influence occurs when individuals look to others for guidance or information in ambiguous or uncertain situations. They rely on others' knowledge or expertise to determine the correct course of action or to interpret the situation accurately. Individuals may conform to the opinions or behaviors of others because they believe the others have more accurate information. 5. Normative influence. Normative influence refers to the influence of social norms on individuals' thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Norms are the unwritten rules or expectations within a social group or society. Normative influence can lead individuals to conform to avoid social rejection, gain approval, or fit in with the group's expectations. 6. Group dynamics. Group dynamics play a significant role in social influence. The presence of others, group cohesion, and social comparison processes can influence individuals' attitudes and behaviors. Group norms and the desire for social acceptance or conformity can shape individuals' actions and decisions. 7. Persuasion. Persuasion involves the deliberate efforts to change individuals' attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors through the use of communication and influence tactics. Persuasion can be achieved through various strategies, such as presenting compelling arguments, appealing to emotions, or using social proof or authority figures. Social influence is a pervasive aspect of human interaction and can have both positive and negative consequences. It can shape individual behavior, attitudes, and decision-making processes, leading to both conformity and change. Understanding social influence is important for comprehending social dynamics, group behavior, and the impact of social context on individuals' thoughts and actions. Persuasion. Persuasion refers to the deliberate process of influencing or convincing others to adopt a particular belief, attitude, or behavior. It involves using communication and influence tactics to shape the thoughts, feelings, and actions of individuals. Persuasion can be used in various contexts, such as advertising, marketing, politics, interpersonal relationships, or public speaking. Here are some key elements and strategies involved in persuasion. 1. Source credibility. The credibility and expertise of the persuader play a crucial role in persuasion. People are more likely to be persuaded by someone they perceive as trustworthy, knowledgeable, and credible. The persuader's expertise, reputation, and perceived authority can enhance their persuasive impact. 2. Message content. The content of the persuasive message should be compelling, logical, and relevant to the target audience. It should address the audience's needs, values, and concerns. Persuasive messages may use evidence, reasoning, emotional appeals, storytelling, or vivid examples to influence attitudes or behaviors. 3. Emotional appeals. Persuasion often involves appealing to the emotions of the target audience. Emotions can be used to evoke empathy, fear, happiness, or other feelings that are relevant to the desired outcome. Emotional appeals can enhance the persuasiveness of a message by connecting with the audience's values and motivations. 4. Social proof. Social proof refers to the influence of others' behavior or opinions on individual decision-making. People are often influenced by the actions or beliefs of those around them. Persuasion can utilize social proof by highlighting testimonials, endorsements, or examples of how others have adopted the desired attitude or behavior. 5. Reciprocity and exchange. The principle of reciprocity suggests that people are more likely to comply with a request or adopt an attitude if they feel a sense of indebtedness or obligation. Persuasion can leverage this principle by offering incentives, rewards, or concessions that create a sense of exchange or reciprocity. 6. Consistency and commitment. People have a natural tendency to behave consistently with their previous commitments and values. Persuasion can use this tendency by getting individuals to make small initial commitments or take small steps towards the desired behavior or attitude. Once committed, individuals are more likely to continue in a consistent manner. 7. Framing and persuasive appeals. The way a message is framed or presented can influence its persuasive impact. Different framing techniques, such as emphasizing the benefits or losses associated with adopting a certain attitude or behavior, can shape individuals' perceptions and decisions. 8. Audience analysis. Effective persuasion requires understanding the target audience. Analyzing the audience's characteristics, beliefs, values, and needs helps tailor the persuasive message to resonate with their specific motivations and concerns. It is important to note that persuasion techniques can be used ethically or unethically, and their effectiveness depends on various factors, including the receptivity of the audience, the context, and the strength of competing messages. Critical thinking and informed decision-making are essential when evaluating persuasive attempts to ensure that individuals are making choices aligned with their own values and best interests. Aptitude and foundational values for civil service. Aptitude and foundational values are essential for individuals pursuing a career in the civil service. The civil service is responsible for implementing government policies, delivering public services, and upholding the principles of good governance. Here are some aptitudes and foundational values that are important for civil service. 1. Aptitude for public service. A strong aptitude for public service is crucial for a career in the civil service. This includes a genuine desire to serve the public interest, a commitment to the welfare of society, and a passion for making a positive impact on the lives of citizens. 2. Ethical conduct. Ethical conduct is a foundational value for civil servants. Upholding integrity, honesty, transparency, and accountability is essential for maintaining public trust and ensuring the efficient and fair administration of government affairs. 3. Commitment to the rule of law. Civil servants must have a deep respect for the rule of law. They should understand and uphold the legal frameworks and principles that govern their work, ensuring that decisions and actions are in accordance with established laws and regulations. 4. Impartiality and fairness. Civil servants are expected to act impartially and fairly, treating all individuals and groups equally and without discrimination. They must make decisions based on merit, objective criteria, and the best interests of the public, rather than personal bias or favoritism. 5. Professionalism. Civil servants should exhibit professionalism in their work, maintaining high standards of competence, expertise, and conduct. This includes continuous learning and development, adaptability to changing circumstances, and a commitment to delivering quality public services. 6. Collaboration and teamwork. Civil servants often work in multidisciplinary teams and must possess strong collaboration and teamwork skills. They should be able to work effectively with colleagues, stakeholders, and other government agencies to achieve shared objectives and deliver coordinated services. 7. Analytical and problem-solving skills. Civil servants need strong analytical and problem-solving skills to address complex issues, evaluate policy options, and develop effective strategies. They should be able to analyze data, identify root causes, and propose evidence-based solutions to societal challenges. 8. Communication and interpersonal skills. Effective communication and interpersonal skills are vital for civil servants to interact with colleagues, stakeholders, and the public. They should be able to listen attentively, convey information clearly, and build positive relationships built on trust and mutual respect. 9. Adaptability and resilience. Civil servants operate in dynamic and often challenging environments. They should demonstrate adaptability, resilience, and the ability to respond to unexpected situations and changes effectively. 10. Commitment to continuous improvement. Civil servants should have a commitment to continuous improvement and a willingness to learn from experiences and feedback. They should strive for innovation, efficiency, as in delivering public services and achieving public policy objectives. These aptitudes and foundational values are crucial for civil servants to fulfill their roles effectively and maintain the public's trust in the government. They provide a strong basis for ethical decision-making, professionalism, and the delivery of quality public services that meet the needs of citizens and contribute to the betterment of society. Integrity. Integrity is a foundational value that encompasses honesty, ethical behavior, and adherence to strong moral principles. It is a quality that individuals demonstrate when they consistently act in accordance with their values and beliefs, even when faced with challenges or temptations to compromise. Here are some key aspects of integrity. 1. Honesty and truthfulness. Individuals with integrity are honest and truthful in their words and actions. They strive to communicate and represent information accurately, without deceit or manipulation. 2. Ethical decision-making. People with integrity prioritize ethical considerations when making decisions. They consider the potential impact of their choices on others and strive to do what is morally right, even when it may be difficult or unpopular. 3. Consistency and reliability. Individuals with integrity demonstrate consistency in their behavior and actions. They follow through on their commitments and promises, and others can rely on them to act in a trustworthy manner. 4. Accountability. People with integrity take responsibility for their actions and accept the consequences of their decisions. They do not shift blame or make excuses when things go wrong, but instead take ownership and seek to rectify any harm caused. 5. Transparency. Individuals with integrity are transparent in their actions and dealings. They are open and honest about their intentions, conflicts of interest, and potential biases, ensuring that their actions are free from hidden agendas or ulterior motives. 6. Respect for others. People with integrity show respect for the dignity and rights of others. They treat others fairly, with empathy, and without discrimination or prejudice. 7. Courage. Integrity often requires courage to stand up for what is right, even in the face of opposition or adversity. It involves having the strength to challenge unethical behavior or practices and to uphold one's principles. 8. Trustworthiness. Integrity is closely associated with being trustworthy. Individuals with integrity build trust with others because their actions align with their words, and they consistently demonstrate reliability, honesty, and ethical behavior. 9. Self-reflection and improvement. Individuals with integrity engage in self-reflection and continuously strive to improve themselves. They are open to feedback, learn from their mistakes, and actively work towards personal growth and development. Integrity is essential in various aspects of life, including personal relationships, professional settings, and public service. It establishes a foundation of trust and respect, fosters positive interactions, and contributes to the overall well-being and harmony of individuals and communities. Demonstrating integrity is a fundamental aspect of ethical behavior and is key to building and maintaining a strong moral character. Impartiality and non-partisanship. Impartiality and non-partisanship are important principles that guide the behavior and decision-making of individuals in various roles, particularly in the context of public service and governance. Let's take a closer look at each principle. Impartiality. Impartiality refers to the objective and fair treatment of all individuals and groups, without favoritism or bias. It involves making decisions and taking actions based on objective criteria and without being influenced by personal interests, prejudices, or external pressures. Key aspects of impartiality include: 1. Fairness. Impartiality entails treating all individuals or parties equitably and without discrimination. It requires a commitment to fairness and the absence of favoritism, ensuring that decisions are based on objective considerations and merit. 2. Objective evaluation. Impartiality involves evaluating information, evidence, or situations objectively, without allowing personal opinions or biases to unduly influence the assessment. It requires a focus on facts, rationality, and logical analysis. 3. Transparency. Impartiality often goes hand in hand with transparency. Being transparent about decision-making processes, criteria, and potential conflicts of interest helps maintain public trust and allows for scrutiny and accountability. 4. Consistency. Impartiality requires consistency in the application of principles and standards. Decisions and actions should not vary based on personal preferences or arbitrary factors but should be guided by consistent principles and rules. Non-partisanship. Non-partisanship refers to the practice of not favoring any particular political party or partisan interests. It involves carrying out duties and responsibilities without aligning with or showing bias towards any specific political affiliation. Key aspects of non-partisanship include: 1. Neutrality. Non-partisanship calls for neutrality and the avoidance of taking sides or endorsing specific political parties or ideologies. Individuals are expected to remain politically neutral in their professional roles and not use their positions to promote personal or partisan interests. 2. Impartial decision-making. Non-partisanship requires making decisions based on objective criteria and the public interest rather than partisan considerations. It involves putting the welfare of the public and the principles of good governance above political affiliations. 3. Independence. Non-partisanship often requires maintaining independence from political pressures or influences. Public officials or civil servants are expected to act autonomously, free from undue political interference, and without allowing partisan considerations to compromise their professional judgment. 4. Focus on the common good. Non-partisanship emphasizes working towards the common good and the broader interests of society, rather than advancing partisan agendas. It involves seeking consensus, promoting dialogue, and finding common ground across political lines. Impartiality and non-partisanship are critical for maintaining public trust, ensuring the fairness and integrity of governance, and upholding the principles of democracy. They promote transparency, accountability, and the effective functioning of public institutions. By adhering to these principles, individuals can contribute to a more equitable, inclusive, and democratic society. Objectivity. Objectivity is a principle that relates to impartiality and non-partisanship, but it specifically focuses on the unbiased and neutral assessment or presentation of information, facts, or situations. Being objective means basing judgments, decisions, and actions on factual evidence and logical reasoning, without personal biases or subjective influences. Here are some key aspects of objectivity. 1. Factual accuracy. Objectivity involves presenting information accurately and truthfully, without distorting or manipulating facts to fit personal beliefs or agendas. It requires a commitment to gathering and verifying information from reliable sources to ensure its accuracy. 2. Lack of bias. Objectivity necessitates a conscious effort to set aside personal biases, opinions, and preconceived notions when evaluating or analyzing information. It involves being aware of one's own biases and striving to minimize their influence on judgments or decisions. 3. Balance and multiple perspectives. Objectivity often involves considering multiple perspectives and viewpoints to gain a comprehensive understanding of a subject. It includes actively seeking out diverse opinions, evidence, and arguments to inform analysis and decision-making. 4. Rationality and logical reasoning. Objectivity requires applying rationality and logical reasoning in evaluating information and making judgments. It involves Examining evidence, assessing its credibility, and drawing conclusions based on sound logic rather than emotional or intuitive responses. 5. Transparency and accountability. Objectivity is enhanced by transparency and accountability in the decision-making process. Clearly articulating the reasoning behind judgments or decisions and allowing for external scrutiny helps ensure objectivity and guards against personal biases or hidden agendas. 6. Separation of personal and professional roles. Objectivity often calls for maintaining a clear separation between personal beliefs or interests and professional responsibilities. It requires professionals to prioritize the objectivity of their work over personal biases or preferences. 7. Peer review and quality assurance. Objectivity can be reinforced through processes such as peer review, external audits, or quality assurance mechanisms. These mechanisms involve independent evaluation and validation of work to minimize the influence of personal biases and ensure rigorous and objective standards. Objectivity is important in various fields and professions, including journalism, scientific research, policymaking, and decision-making in public and private sectors. It helps foster trust, credibility, and reliability in information and assessments, allowing for informed and fair judgments. While achieving complete objectivity may be challenging, striving for objectivity helps maintain fairness, integrity, and the pursuit of truth. Dedication to public service. Dedication to public service refers to a strong commitment and sense of purpose in serving the public and working towards the betterment of society. It entails a genuine desire to make a positive impact on the lives of individuals, communities, and the broader public. Here are some key aspects of dedication to public service. 1. Commitment to the public interest. Individuals dedicated to public service prioritize the welfare and interests of the public above personal or private interests. They recognize the responsibility to serve the common good and work towards addressing societal challenges and improving the quality of life for all. 2. Sense of purpose and mission. Dedication to public service is driven by a deep sense of purpose and a belief in the value of public service. Public servants are motivated by a desire to contribute to the greater good and to make a meaningful difference in society. 3. Ethical behavior and integrity. Dedication to public service goes hand in hand with maintaining high ethical standards and integrity. Public servants uphold honesty, transparency, accountability, and fairness in their actions and decisions, ensuring the public's trust and confidence. 4. Empathy and compassion. Individuals dedicated to public service possess empathy and compassion towards the needs, concerns, and challenges faced by others. They strive to understand the experiences and perspectives of different individuals and work towards solutions that promote equity, justice, and well-being. 5. Service orientation. Dedication to public service involves a strong orientation towards serving others. Public servants actively seek opportunities to address public needs, provide assistance, and deliver quality services that meet the expectations and requirements of the community. 6. Lifelong learning and professional growth. Dedicated public servants recognize the importance of continuous learning, professional development, and staying abreast of current issues and trends. They are committed to enhancing their skills, knowledge, and capabilities to better serve the public and adapt to evolving challenges. 7. Collaboration and partnership. Dedication to public service involves fostering collaboration and partnerships with other stakeholders, including government agencies, civil society organizations, and the private sector. Public servants recognize the value of collective action and interdisciplinary approaches in addressing complex societal problems. 8. Resilience and perseverance. Public service can be demanding and challenging. Dedication to public service requires resilience, perseverance, and a willingness to overcome obstacles and setbacks in the pursuit of positive change and improvement. 9. Civic engagement and empowerment. Dedicated public servants encourage civic engagement and empower individuals and communities to actively participate in shaping public policies, programs, and decision-making processes. They value citizen input, listen to diverse perspectives, and involve stakeholders in the design and implementation of public initiatives. Dedication to public service is a noble and important value that underpins effective and impactful governance. It inspires individuals to work selflessly towards the betterment of society, upholding the principles of fairness, equity, and social justice. Through dedication to public service, individuals can contribute to building thriving, inclusive, and sustainable communities. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings, experiences, and perspectives of others. It involves being able to put oneself in someone else's shoes, to perceive the world from their point of view, and to respond with care and compassion. Here are some key aspects of empathy. 1. Understanding others. Empathy involves actively seeking to understand others by listening attentively, observing nonverbal cues, and asking questions. It requires setting aside one's own judgments and assumptions to truly comprehend and appreciate another person's emotions and experiences. 2. Emotional awareness. Empathy entails being aware of and acknowledging the emotions of others. It involves recognizing and validating their feelings, even if they differ from one's own. By recognizing and connecting with others' emotions, individuals can develop a sense of shared humanity and build stronger relationships. 3. Perspective taking. Empathy requires the ability to take on the perspective of another person. This involves imagining oneself in their situation, considering their background, values, and circumstances. Perspective taking helps in understanding the context in which others' emotions and experiences arise. 4. Emotional responsiveness. Empathy involves responding to others' emotions with care, support, and understanding. It may include offering words of comfort, providing a listening ear, or offering practical assistance. Being emotionally responsive helps foster a sense of connection, trust, and validation. 5. Compassionate action. Empathy can motivate individuals to take compassionate action to alleviate the suffering or support the well-being of others. It involves responding to the needs of others and engaging in acts of kindness, support, or advocacy. Compassionate action demonstrates a genuine concern for the welfare of others. 6. Cultural sensitivity. Empathy requires being sensitive to cultural differences and recognizing that experiences, norms, and values may vary across different individuals and communities. Cultural sensitivity allows individuals to empathize effectively and respectfully across diverse backgrounds. 7. Conflict resolution. Empathy plays a crucial role in resolving conflicts and promoting understanding. By empathizing with the perspectives and emotions of conflicting parties, individuals can foster empathy-driven dialogue, promote mutual understanding, and find common ground for resolution. 8. Self-empathy. Empathy also includes extending understanding and compassion to oneself. Self-empathy involves recognizing and honoring one's own emotions, needs, and experiences with kindness and understanding. By practicing self-empathy, individuals can cultivate emotional well-being and resilience. Empathy is a vital skill that enhances personal relationships, teamwork, and societal cohesion. It promotes kindness, tolerance, and social harmony by fostering understanding and reducing prejudice or discrimination. By embracing empathy, individuals can contribute to creating a more compassionate and empathetic world. Tolerance and compassion towards the weaker sections. Tolerance and compassion towards the weaker sections of society are crucial values that promote social justice, equality, and inclusivity. They involve recognizing the challenges and disadvantages faced by marginalized or vulnerable individuals or groups and responding with understanding, support, and empathy. Here are some key aspects of tolerance and compassion towards the weaker sections. 1. Acceptance and respect. Tolerance begins with accepting and respecting the inherent dignity and worth of all individuals, regardless of their social, economic, or cultural background. It involves recognizing and appreciating the diversity and unique experiences of people from weaker sections of society. 2. Empathy and understanding. Compassion towards the weaker sections entails cultivating empathy and seeking to understand their struggles, challenges, and needs. It involves listening attentively, acknowledging their experiences, and recognizing the systemic barriers they face. 3. Advocacy and support. Tolerance and compassion require actively advocating for the rights and well-being of weaker sections. It involves standing up against discrimination, inequality, and social injustices. Individuals can support through various means, such as raising awareness, promoting inclusive policies, or providing resources and assistance. 4. Equal opportunities. Tolerance and compassion involve striving for equal opportunities for the weaker sections. It means working towards creating an inclusive society where individuals from all backgrounds have access to education, employment, healthcare, and other essential services without discrimination or barriers. 5. Empowerment. Compassion includes empowering weaker sections to overcome disadvantages and realize their full potential. This can be achieved through initiatives that provide skill development, capacity building, and support to enhance their socio-economic conditions and self-reliance. 6. Addressing systemic injustices. Tolerance and compassion go beyond individual acts of kindness. They involve addressing the underlying systemic injustices and structural inequalities that perpetuate the marginalization of weaker sections. This requires challenging discriminatory practices, advocating for policy changes, and promoting social and institutional reforms. 7. Collaboration and partnership. Tolerance and compassion towards weaker sections often require collaboration and partnership with individuals, organizations, and communities. By working together, different stakeholders can combine their efforts and resources to create meaningful and sustainable change. 8. Education and awareness. Tolerance and compassion are fostered through education and raising awareness about the experiences and rights of weaker sections. It involves promoting understanding, empathy, and appreciation for diverse perspectives and histories. 9. Non-judgmental attitude. Tolerance and compassion involve adopting a non-judgmental attitude towards individuals from weaker sections. It means refraining from stereotypes, biases, or prejudices and treating everyone with fairness, equity, and dignity. By practicing tolerance and compassion towards the weaker sections, individuals can contribute to building a more inclusive, just, and compassionate society. These values help create an environment where everyone has equal opportunities, their rights are protected, and their voices are heard and respected. Emotional intelligence concepts. Emotional intelligence, EI, refers to the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and express emotions in oneself and others. It involves a set of skills and competencies that contribute to effective social interactions, empathy, and personal well-being. Here are some key concepts related to emotional intelligence. 1. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It involves recognizing and understanding one's own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, values, and motivations. Self-awareness allows individuals to accurately assess their emotions and reactions in different situations. 2. Self-regulation. Self-regulation refers to the ability to manage and control one's emotions, impulses, and behavior. It involves being able to adapt to changing circumstances, stay calm under pressure, and resist impulsive or negative reactions. Self-regulation helps individuals respond to situations in a thoughtful and constructive manner. 3. Self-motivation. Self-motivation is the ability to harness one's emotions and direct them towards achieving personal goals. It involves maintaining a positive attitude, setting high standards for oneself, and being resilient in the face of challenges. Self-motivated individuals are driven, focused, and able to persevere through setbacks. 4. Empathy. Empathy is the capacity to understand and share the feelings and perspectives of others. It involves putting oneself in another person's shoes, recognizing their emotions, and responding with sensitivity and compassion. Empathy helps build connections, foster understanding, and support effective interpersonal relationships. 5 social skills. Social skills encompass a range of abilities related to effective communication, collaboration, and relationship building. This includes active listening, assertiveness, conflict resolution, teamwork, and the ability to influence and inspire others. Strong social skills facilitate positive interactions and enable individuals to navigate social situations successfully. 6. Emotional awareness. Emotional awareness refers to the ability to accurately identify and understand emotions, both in oneself and in others. It involves recognizing subtle emotional cues, such as facial expressions or body language, and being attuned to the emotional dynamics of a given situation. 7. Emotional regulation. Emotional regulation involves effectively managing and modulating one's own emotions. It includes techniques for calming oneself down when feeling stressed or overwhelmed, as well as strategies for increasing positive emotions and managing negative emotions in a healthy way. 8. Relationship management. Relationship management encompasses the skills needed to establish and maintain positive and healthy relationships. This involves effective communication, conflict resolution, empathy, and the ability to build rapport and trust with others. Relationship management skills contribute to successful teamwork, collaboration, and leadership. Developing emotional intelligence can lead to improved personal and professional relationships, better decision-making, increased resilience, and enhanced overall well-being. By understanding and cultivating these concepts, individuals can enhance their emotional intelligence and effectively navigate the complexities of their own emotions and social interactions. Emotional intelligence utilities. Emotional intelligence, EI, has numerous utilities and benefits in various aspects of life. Here are some key utilities of emotional intelligence. 1. Personal well-being. Emotional intelligence contributes to personal well-being by promoting self-awareness, self-regulation, and effective stress management. Individuals with high EI are better able to understand and manage their emotions, which can lead to improved mental health, reduced anxiety, and increased resilience. 2. Effective communication. EI enhances communication skills by fostering empathy, active listening, and understanding of others' emotions. Individuals with high EI can express themselves effectively, interpret nonverbal cues, and respond appropriately to others, leading to better relationships and more harmonious interactions. 3. Leadership and influence. Emotional intelligence is particularly valuable in leadership roles. Leaders with high EI can inspire and motivate their team members, build strong relationships, and manage conflicts effectively. They are skilled at understanding and responding to the needs and emotions of their team, fostering a positive work environment, and achieving collective goals. 4. Conflict resolution. EI plays a vital role in conflict resolution. Individuals with high EI can manage their emotions during conflicts, listen empathetically to different perspectives, and find mutually beneficial solutions. They can effectively communicate their needs and concerns while considering the emotions and interests of others, leading to more productive and satisfying resolutions. 5. Teamwork and collaboration. Emotional intelligence contributes to effective teamwork and collaboration. Individuals with high EI can understand and appreciate diverse viewpoints, foster trust, and build positive relationships within teams. They are skilled at managing conflicts, promoting open communication, and creating a supportive and inclusive team culture. 6. Decision-making. EI enhances decision-making by considering and integrating emotions alongside logical reasoning. Individuals with high EI can recognize and manage their own biases and emotions, as well as factor in the emotions and perspectives of others. This holistic approach to decision-making can lead to more balanced and informed choices. 7. Customer relations and service. EI is crucial in customer-facing roles. Individuals with high EI can understand and empathize with customers' emotions, respond to their needs effectively, and provide excellent customer service. They can handle challenging situations with composure and address customer concerns in a sensitive and empathetic manner. 8. Conflict management. EI skills are valuable in managing conflicts in various settings, such as in personal relationships, workplace dynamics, or community interactions. Individuals with high EI can navigate difficult conversations, diffuse tensions, and find collaborative solutions that preserve relationships and promote mutual understanding. Overall, emotional intelligence has extensive utilities across personal, professional, and social domains. It contributes to improved self-awareness, effective communication, positive relationships, and better decision-making. By developing and applying emotional intelligence, individuals can enhance their overall effectiveness, satisfaction, and well-being in various aspects of life. Emotional intelligence application in administration. Emotional intelligence, EI, plays a significant role in administration, as it influences how administrators interact with employees, stakeholders, and the public. Here are some key applications of emotional intelligence in administration. 1. Effective leadership. Administrators with high EI can lead with empathy, understanding, and emotional awareness. They can connect with their employees, inspire trust, and create a positive work environment. They can effectively manage their own emotions and regulate the emotions of others, leading to increased employee morale, motivation, and productivity. 2. Conflict resolution and negotiation. Administrators with strong EI can navigate conflicts and negotiations effectively. They can understand and manage their own emotions during tense situations, as well as empathize with the perspectives and emotions of others. This allows them to find mutually beneficial resolutions and build positive relationships with stakeholders. 3. Decision-making. Emotional intelligence enhances the decision-making process in administration. Administrators with high EI can consider and balance both rational analysis and emotional factors. They are better equipped to manage biases, regulate emotions that may influence decisions, and consider the potential impact of decisions on various stakeholders. For effective communication, emotional intelligence helps administrators communicate effectively with employees, stakeholders, and the public. Administrators with high EI can listen actively, interpret nonverbal cues, and adapt their communication style to different individuals or situations. They can express themselves clearly and empathetically, which fosters understanding, trust, and cooperation. 5. Building and managing relationships. Emotional intelligence contributes to relationship building and management. Administrators with strong EI can develop positive and meaningful connections with employees and stakeholders. They understand the importance of empathy, active listening, and recognizing and responding to the emotions and needs of others. This helps in establishing trust, collaboration, and effective partnerships. 6. Employee engagement and retention. Administrators with high EI create an environment where employees feel valued, understood, and supported. They can recognize and appreciate the emotions and needs of their employees, which enhances employee engagement, job satisfaction, and retention. Administrators with strong EI can effectively address employee concerns, provide constructive feedback, and promote a culture of open communication. 7. Managing change and resilience. Emotional intelligence enables administrators to effectively manage change and promote resilience within their teams and organizations. Administrators with high EI can understand and address the emotional impact of change, provide support and guidance to employees, and foster adaptability and resilience within the organization. 8. Public relations and stakeholder engagement. Emotional intelligence is crucial in public relations and engaging with stakeholders. Administrators with high EI can empathize with the concerns and expectations of the public and stakeholders, address them effectively, and build positive relationships. They can manage public perception, handle crises with composure, and maintain transparency and trust with the public. By applying emotional intelligence in administration, administrators can create a positive work environment, build strong relationships, make informed decisions, and effectively navigate the complexities of public service. Emotional intelligence enhances the overall effectiveness, morale, and success of administrators in their roles. Emotional intelligence governance. Emotional intelligence, EI, has significant implications for governance as it influences how leaders and policymakers engage with various stakeholders, make decisions, and shape the overall governance process. Here are some key aspects of applying emotional intelligence in governance. 1. Building trust and credibility. Leaders with high EI can build trust and credibility with the public by demonstrating empathy, active listening, and understanding. They can connect with citizens, understand their needs and concerns, and address them effectively. This fosters transparency, inclusivity, and public confidence in the governance process. 2. Stakeholder engagement. EI enhances stakeholder engagement by promoting effective communication, empathy, and collaboration. Leaders with high EI can engage with diverse stakeholders, understand their perspectives, and involve them in the decision-making process. This leads to more inclusive governance, better policy outcomes, and increased public support. 3. Decision-making. Emotional intelligence plays a vital role in decision-making processes. Leaders with high EI can consider and balance rational analysis with emotional factors. They can manage their own emotions and understand the emotional impact of decisions on stakeholders. This helps in making decisions that are not only informed by evidence but also considerate of the human impact and public sentiment. 4. Conflict resolution. EI contributes to effective conflict resolution in governance. Leaders with high EI can manage conflicts constructively by understanding the emotions and perspectives of conflicting parties. They can create a safe space for dialogue, facilitate productive conversations, and find win-win solutions. This fosters cooperation, consensus building, and social cohesion. 5. Ethical leadership. Emotional intelligence is closely linked to ethical leadership. Leaders with high EI are more likely to demonstrate integrity, authenticity, and ethical behavior. They can navigate ethical dilemmas, uphold moral values, and set a positive example for others. This promotes a culture of ethics and accountability within the governance framework. 6. Public service orientation. EI supports a strong public service orientation among leaders. Leaders with high EI prioritize the public interest, empathy, and compassion. They genuinely care about the welfare of citizens and work towards improving their well-being. This leads to more responsive and citizen-centric governance. 7. Crisis management. Emotional intelligence is particularly valuable during crisis or challenging situations. Leaders with high EI can manage their own emotions, remain calm under pressure, and effectively communicate with the public. They can address public concerns, provide reassurance, and make decisions that prioritize the safety and welfare of the community. 8. Collaboration and teamwork. EI promotes collaboration and teamwork among leaders and within governance structures. Leaders with high EI can build cohesive and effective teams, foster a positive work culture, and promote cross-sector collaboration. This leads to better coordination, synergy, and collective problem-solving in governance. By applying emotional intelligence in governance, leaders can establish a more inclusive, ethical, and responsive governance framework. Emotional intelligence enhances stakeholder engagement, decision-making, conflict resolution, and public trust, ultimately leading to more effective and people-centered governance processes. Contributions of moral thinkers and philosophers from India and world. There have been numerous moral thinkers and philosophers from India and around the world who have made significant contributions to ethical and moral philosophy. Here are some notable figures and their contributions. India. 1. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the Indian independence movement, emphasized the principles of non-violence, ahimsa, and truth, satya. He advocated for social justice, equality, and the importance of moral values in personal and political life. 2. Gautama Buddha, Buddha's teachings focused on the alleviation of suffering and the pursuit of enlightenment. His ethical teachings emphasized compassion, mindfulness, and the cultivation of a moral and virtuous life. 3. Swami Vivekananda promoted the principles of universal brotherhood, tolerance, and self-realization. He emphasized the importance of moral values, spirituality, and service to humanity. 4. Rabindranath Tagore's philosophy emphasized the unity of all beings and the importance of love, compassion, and empathy. He believed in the harmony of human relationships and the interconnectedness of individuals with nature and society. World. 1. Aristotle's ethical philosophy focused on virtue ethics, emphasizing the cultivation of virtuous character traits for the attainment of human flourishing. He emphasized the importance of moral virtues such as courage, justice, and temperance. 2. Immanuel Kant's moral philosophy centered around the concept of duty and the categorical imperative. He argued for moral principles based on reason and emphasized the inherent dignity and worth of every individual. 3. John Stuart Mill's ethical philosophy, known as utilitarianism, emphasized the greatest happiness principle. He argued that actions should be evaluated based on their ability to promote overall happiness and minimize suffering. 4. Friedrich Nietzsche challenged traditional moral values and advocated for the re-evaluation of values based on individual freedom and self-realization. He critiqued traditional moral systems and emphasized the importance of personal authenticity and self-overcoming. 5. Jean-Paul Sartre's existentialist philosophy focused on individual freedom, responsibility, and authenticity. He emphasized the significance of personal choice and the need for individuals to create their own values and meaning in life. These are just a few examples of the numerous moral thinkers and philosophers who have made significant contributions to moral philosophy and ethics. Their ideas and insights continue to shape our understanding of moral values, ethical principles, and the nature of a good and just society. Mahatma Gandhi, born Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, is one of the most influential figures in India's history and a prominent moral thinker on a global scale. Here are some key aspects of Mahatma Gandhi's life and contributions. 1. Nonviolence. Ahimsa. Gandhi is widely known for his philosophy of nonviolence, or ahimsa. He believed in the power of love, truth, and nonviolent resistance as a means to achieve social and political change. He led numerous nonviolent movements, including the famous Salt March, to protest against British colonial rule and promote civil rights. 2. Satyagraha. Gandhi developed the concept of satyagraha, which means truth force, or soul force. It is a philosophy and method of resistance through nonviolent civil disobedience. Satyagraha emphasizes the power of truth and moral courage to confront injustice and create social transformation. 3. Swadeshi and self-sufficiency. Gandhi advocated for Swadeshi, which means self-reliance and the promotion of local industries. He believed in economic independence and encouraged Indians to produce and use goods made in India, supporting indigenous industries and promoting self-sufficiency. 4. Simple living and high thinking. Gandhi practiced and promoted a life of simplicity, frugality, and self-discipline. He believed in living with minimal material possessions and focusing on spiritual and moral growth rather than material wealth. He emphasized the importance of self-control, self-restraint, and detachment from material desires. 5. Equality and social justice. Gandhi fought against discrimination and inequality in all forms. He advocated for the rights and dignity of marginalized groups, including the lower castes, Dalit, and women. He worked towards dismantling social barriers and promoting social justice through his campaigns and advocacy. 6. Environmental sustainability. Gandhi emphasized the importance of living in harmony with nature and protecting the environment. He advocated for sustainable practices, including conservation of resources, promoting agriculture, and addressing issues of deforestation and ecological imbalance. 7. Education and empowerment. Gandhi believed in the transformative power of education. He emphasized the need for education that fosters moral and ethical development, instills values of service to humanity, and empowers individuals to contribute to society. Mahatma Gandhi's principles of nonviolence, truth, and social justice continue to inspire individuals and movements worldwide. His emphasis on ethical values, simplicity, and selflessness serves as a guiding light for those seeking personal and societal transformation. Gandhi's legacy as a moral thinker and political leader is deeply rooted in his commitment to peace, justice, and the power of individual conscience. Gautama Buddha, also known as Siddhartha Gautama, was an influential spiritual leader and the founder of Buddhism. Here are some key aspects of Gautama Buddha's life and teachings. 1. The Four Noble Truths. Buddha's teachings revolve around the Four Noble Truths, which are central to Buddhist philosophy. These truths describe the nature of suffering, dukkha, its causes, its cessation, and the path to liberation from suffering, nirvana. 2. The Noble Eightfold Path. Buddha taught the Noble Eightfold Path as a practical guide for attaining enlightenment and ending suffering. This path consists of 8 interconnected principles, including right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. 3. Middle Way. Buddha advocated for the middle way, which emphasizes the importance of avoiding extremes and finding balance in life. This concept encourages individuals to avoid both excessive indulgence and severe asceticism, aiming for a moderate and balanced approach to living. 4. Impermanence. Buddha taught the principle of impermanence, anicca, emphasizing that all conditioned phenomena are transient and subject to change. Understanding impermanence helps individuals develop non-attachment and reduce suffering by accepting the changing nature of life. 5. No self. Anatta. Buddha taught the concept of no self, anatta, which challenges the notion of a fixed, permanent, and independent self. He emphasized that all phenomena, including the self, are composed of constantly changing elements and are devoid of a separate and enduring identity. 6. Compassion and loving kindness. Buddha emphasized the cultivation of compassion and loving kindness, metta, towards all beings. He taught that genuine compassion is essential for overcoming selfish desires and fostering interconnectedness and harmony in the world. 7. Mindfulness. Buddha emphasized the practice of mindfulness, which involves being fully present and aware of one's thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Mindfulness helps individuals develop insight, understand the nature of reality, and cultivate inner peace. 8. Renunciation and detachment. Buddha taught the importance of renunciation and detachment from worldly attachments and desires. By letting go of craving and attachment, individuals can reduce suffering and find inner freedom. Gautama Buddha's teachings have had a profound impact on millions of people and continue to be a source of inspiration and guidance for those seeking spiritual development and liberation from suffering. His teachings emphasize the cultivation of wisdom, compassion, and ethical conduct as paths to enlightenment and personal transformation. Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda, born as Narendranath Datta, was a prominent spiritual leader, philosopher, and social reformer from India. He played a crucial role in the revival of Hinduism and the introduction of Vedanta and Yoga to the Western world. Here are some key aspects of Swami Vivekananda's life and teachings. 1. Vedanta philosophy. Swami Vivekananda popularized the teachings of Vedanta, which is based on the ancient scriptures of the Upanishads. He emphasized the unity of all religions and the universality of spiritual truths. Vivekananda's teachings focused on the concepts of oneness, self-realization, and the divinity within every individual. 2. Service to humanity. Vivekananda believed in the idea of service to humanity as a means of worshipping the divine. He emphasized the importance of selfless service, seva, and social reform for the upliftment of society. Vivekananda advocated for education, healthcare, and empowerment of the underprivileged sections of society. 3. Religious harmony. Swami Vivekananda preached religious harmony and believed in the unity of all religions. He spoke about the essential principles shared by various faiths and stressed the need for tolerance, acceptance, and respect for diverse religious beliefs and practices. 4. Individual strength and self-realization. Vivekananda encouraged individuals to recognize their inherent strength and potential. He believed in the power of self-realization and the transformation of individuals through spiritual practices, including meditation and contemplation. Vivekananda's teachings inspired individuals to discover their inner divinity and manifest it in their lives. 5. Youth empowerment. Swami Vivekananda had a deep faith in the potential of the youth. He believed that young individuals could bring about positive social change and contribute to the progress of society. Vivekananda encouraged the youth to develop a strong character, cultivate moral values, and channel their energy towards noble pursuits. 6. Advancement of women. Vivekananda emphasized the importance of women's education, empowerment, and equal rights. He believed that the upliftment of society is not possible without the active participation and empowerment of women. Vivekananda advocated for women's education, their spiritual and intellectual development, and their role in social reform. 7. Universal love and compassion. Swami Vivekananda stressed the power of universal love and compassion in fostering peace and harmony. He believed that love, empathy, and compassion are the highest virtues and should be practiced towards all beings. Swami Vivekananda's teachings continue to inspire millions of people around the world. His emphasis on spiritual growth, service to humanity, religious harmony, and empowerment has had a profound impact on individuals seeking personal transformation, social reform, and a deeper understanding of the human potential. Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore, also known as Gurudev, was a renowned poet, writer, philosopher, and polymath from India. He was the first non-European to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. Here are some key aspects of Rabindranath Tagore's life and contributions. 1. Poetry and literature. Tagore's poetic works, encompassing over 2,000 songs, poems, and stories, are considered among the greatest in Bengali literature and have had a significant influence on Indian literature as a whole. His poems and songs reflect themes of love, nature, spirituality, and human emotions. 2. Gitanjali. Tagore's collection of poems, titled Gitanjali, Song Offerings, earned him the Nobel Prize in Literature. Gitanjali embodies his spiritual and philosophical ideas, celebrating the divine and exploring themes of love, devotion, and the interconnectedness of all beings. 3. Education and pedagogy. Tagore founded the experimental school Santiniketan, which later evolved into Viswabharati University. He emphasized a holistic approach to education that combined intellectual, artistic, and moral development. Tagore believed in nurturing creativity, self-expression, and a deep connection with nature in the education of children. 4. Universalism and humanism. Tagore advocated for universal humanism and emphasized the unity of all cultures and religions. He rejected narrow nationalism and promoted a vision of a harmonious world where individuals embrace diversity and work together for the greater good of humanity. 5. Social reforms. Tagore was deeply concerned about social issues and championed causes such as women's rights, education for all, and the abolition of child marriage. He used his writings and influence to challenge societal norms and promote social reforms. 6. Environmental conservation. Tagore had a strong connection with nature and was an advocate for environmental conservation. He emphasized the importance of preserving the environment, respecting all living beings, and living in harmony with nature. 7. Visual and performing arts. Tagore was also a painter, playwright, and composer. He composed music for his poems, creating a unique genre of songs known as Rabindra Sangeet. Tagore's plays, such as The Post Office and Red Oleanders, explored social and philosophical themes. 8. International influence. Tagore's works and ideas had a profound impact beyond India. He traveled extensively, engaging with scholars, writers, and thinkers around the world, fostering cultural exchange and leaving a lasting legacy on global literature and intellectual discourse. Rabindranath Tagore's multifaceted contributions in literature, education, social reforms, and the arts have had a profound and enduring impact. His ideas on spirituality, universalism, and the interconnectedness of humanity continue to inspire and resonate with people across cultures and generations. Aristotle. Aristotle was an ancient Greek philosopher and polymath who made significant contributions to various fields, including philosophy, ethics, politics, logic, biology, and more. Here are some key aspects of Aristotle's life and contributions. 1. Philosophy. Aristotle was a student of Plato and later became the tutor of Alexander the Great. His philosophy focused on understanding the nature of reality, knowledge, and human existence. He developed his own philosophical system, known as Aristotelianism or the Aristotelian philosophy. 2. Metaphysics. Aristotle's work in metaphysics explored the nature of being, causality, and existence. He sought to understand the fundamental principles and causes behind the physical world and the nature of reality itself. 3. Ethics and virtue. Aristotle's ethical philosophy centered around the concept of virtue ethics. He believed that a virtuous and morally excellent life leads to eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or well-being. Aristotle emphasized the cultivation of moral virtues, such as courage, temperance, and justice, as the path to living a fulfilling and ethical life. 4. Politics. Aristotle's political philosophy examined the nature of governance and the ideal state. He believed that the purpose of politics is to cultivate human excellence and create conditions for citizens to live a virtuous life. Aristotle's work in politics emphasized the importance of good governance, constitutional order, and the role of citizens in shaping the state. 5. Logic and reasoning. Aristotle made significant contributions to the field of logic. He developed a system of deductive reasoning known as syllogism, which became a foundation for formal logic. Aristotle's logical works influenced subsequent philosophers and laid the groundwork for the study of rational thought. 6. Biology and science. Aristotle's observations and studies in biology and natural history were groundbreaking for his time. He classified and described a wide range of species and made significant contributions to the understanding of anatomy, physiology, and the natural world. 7. Influence on Western thought. Aristotle's works had a profound influence on Western philosophy, science, and thought. His ideas on ethics, politics, logic, and metaphysics have shaped intellectual discourse for centuries and continue to be studied and debated today. Aristotle's contributions to various disciplines have had a lasting impact on human knowledge and understanding. His philosophical ideas, particularly in ethics and politics, continue to be relevant and influential, shaping our understanding of human nature, morality, and governance. Immanuel Kant. 2. Immanuel Kant was an influential philosopher from the 18th century who made significant contributions to metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, and political philosophy. Here are some key aspects of Immanuel Kant's life and contributions. 1. Critique of pure reason. Kant's major work, Critique of Pure Reason, explored the limits and possibilities of human knowledge. He argued for the existence of synthetic a priori knowledge, which is knowledge that is both necessary and informative but not derived from experience. 2. Categorical imperative. Kant's ethical philosophy is centered around the concept of the categorical imperative. He believed that moral actions should be guided by principles that can be universally applied without exception. The categorical imperative requires individuals to act in a way that respects the inherent dignity and autonomy of others. 3. Deontological ethics. Kant's ethical framework is often classified as deontological, meaning that it emphasizes the inherent rightness or wrongness of actions, regardless of their consequences. According to Kant, ethical decisions should be based on moral duty and the intention behind the action, rather than the outcomes. 4. Theory of knowledge. Kant proposed that knowledge is influenced by both the mind and the external world. He distinguished between noumena, things as they are in themselves, and phenomena, things as they appear to us. Kant argued that our knowledge is limited to the phenomena we experience, and we cannot have direct access to the ultimate nature of reality. 5. Aesthetic theory. Kant's aesthetics focused on the nature of beauty and artistic judgment. He argued that aesthetic judgments are based on subjective experiences of pleasure and the free play of imagination and understanding. Kant emphasized the importance of aesthetic appreciation in human experience. 6. Social and political philosophy. Kant's political philosophy emphasized the importance of individual freedom, equality, and the rule of law. He advocated for the idea of a republic based on the principles of freedom and autonomy, where individuals are governed by laws that they themselves have a voice in creating. 7. Influence on philosophy. Kant's works had a profound influence on subsequent philosophical thought. His ideas on ethics, epistemology, and metaphysics continue to be widely studied and debated in contemporary philosophy. Immanuel Kant's contributions to philosophy, particularly in the realms of ethics and epistemology, have had a lasting impact on intellectual discourse. His emphasis on moral duty, the categorical imperative, and the limits of human knowledge have shaped our understanding of ethics, reasoning, and the nature of reality. John Stuart Mill. John Stuart Mill was a 19th century philosopher, economist, and political theorist who made significant contributions to utilitarianism, ethics, political philosophy, and economics. Here are some key aspects of John Stuart Mill's life and contributions. 1. Utilitarianism. Mill is most famous for his work on utilitarianism, a consequentialist ethical theory that judges actions based on their ability to maximize overall happiness or well-being. Mill argued for a higher form of utilitarianism that considered the quality of happiness and prioritized the well-being of all individuals, rather than just focusing on maximizing pleasure. 2. Harm principle. Mill introduced the harm principle, which states that the only purpose for which power can be rightfully exercised over individuals is to prevent harm to others. This principle promotes individual freedom and argues for limiting state interference in personal matters as long as no harm is caused to others. 3. Liberty and individuality. Mill advocated for individual liberty and the importance of personal autonomy. He argued that society should allow individuals the freedom to pursue their own interests, express their opinions, and develop their unique potential, as long as it does not harm others. 4. Women's rights. Mill was a vocal advocate for women's rights and gender equality. He argued for equal opportunities and legal rights for women, including their right to vote and participate fully in society. His work helped shape the feminist movement and influenced the advancement of women's rights. 5. Representative democracy. Mill supported representative democracy and argued for the importance of political participation and the protection of individual rights within democratic systems. He emphasized the need for a well-informed and educated citizenry and advocated for proportional representation to ensure fair representation of diverse views. 6. Economic theory. Mill made significant contributions to economic theory, particularly in the field of political economy. He argued for the importance of individual freedom in economic matters and advocated for a cooperative system that balanced private enterprise with social responsibility. Mill's work had an impact on the development of modern economics and welfare economics. 7. Influence on liberalism. Mill's ideas and writings had a profound influence on the development of liberalism and the modern liberal tradition. His emphasis on individual liberty, representative democracy, and the protection of minority rights continues to shape political thought and democratic societies. John Stuart Mill's contributions to ethics, political philosophy, and economics have had a lasting impact on intellectual discourse. His promotion of utilitarianism, individual liberty, and women's rights, along with his insights on representative democracy, continue to be influential and relevant to contemporary debates on ethics, politics, and social justice. Friedrich Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche was a 19th century German philosopher, cultural critic, and writer known for his radical and provocative ideas. Here are some key aspects of Friedrich Nietzsche's life and contributions. 1. Critique of traditional morality. Nietzsche's works often challenged and critiqued traditional moral values, particularly those influenced by religious and societal norms. He argued that conventional morality, with its emphasis on self-denial and suppression of individual desires, hindered human potential and creativity. 2. Will to power. Nietzsche introduced the concept of the will to power, which suggests that the driving force behind human actions and desires is the pursuit of power and self-assertion. He believed that individuals should embrace their desires, passions, and instincts rather than repressing them. 3. Übermensch. Superman. Nietzsche proposed the idea of the Übermensch, which refers to an idealized individual who surpasses societal norms and embraces their own unique values and goals. The Übermensch is characterized by self-mastery, creativity, and the ability to create their own meaning in a world without inherent meaning. 4. Eternal recurrence. Nietzsche introduced the concept of eternal recurrence, which suggests that life is a cyclical repetition of events. He posed the idea that individuals should live their lives in a way that they would be willing to repeat every moment for eternity, embracing both the joys and sufferings. 5. Critique of Christianity. Nietzsche was highly critical of organized religion, particularly Christianity, which he saw as promoting slave morality and the suppression of individuality. He argued for a revaluation of values that would free individuals from the constraints imposed by religious beliefs. 6. Art and aesthetics. Nietzsche believed in the transformative power of art and aesthetics. He saw art as a way to transcend societal limitations and express one's inner desires and creativity. Nietzsche viewed artists as vital cultural figures who challenge and reshape traditional norms. 7. Influence on existentialism and postmodernism. Nietzsche's ideas had a significant impact on existentialist philosophy and postmodern thought. His emphasis on the individual's freedom, self-creation, and rejection of absolute truths laid the groundwork for these philosophical movements. It is important to note that Nietzsche's works are complex and open to various interpretations. His writings continue to be studied and debated, with some embracing his ideas as liberating and others criticizing his views for their potential to promote nihilism or amorality. Nevertheless, Nietzsche's provocative ideas have left a lasting impact on philosophy, literature, and cultural criticism. Jean-Paul Sartre. Jean-Paul Sartre was a 20th century French philosopher, writer, and prominent figure in existentialism. Here are some key aspects of Jean-Paul Sartre's life and contributions. 1. Existentialism. Sartre is one of the key figures associated with existentialism, a philosophical movement that emphasizes the individual's freedom, responsibility, and the subjective experience of existence. He explored existential themes such as the meaning of life, freedom of choice, and the nature of human existence. To existential freedom, Sartre argued that individuals are fundamentally free and responsible for creating their own meaning and values in life. He believed that existence precedes essence, meaning that we exist first and then define ourselves through our choices and actions. 3. Existential angst and anxiety. Sartre examined the concept of existential angst or anguish, which arises from the realization of one's radical freedom and the inherent uncertainty and responsibility that comes with it. He saw anxiety as an integral part of the human condition and an essential element in our search for authenticity and self-definition. 4. Bad faith. Sartre coined the term bad faith to describe the tendency of individuals to evade their freedom and responsibility by conforming to social norms, roles, and expectations. He argued that embracing bad faith leads to inauthenticity and a denial of one's true self. 5. Existential ethics. Sartre proposed an ethics based on existentialism, where moral responsibility stems from an individual's choices and actions. He believed that we must take responsibility for the consequences of our choices, as they affect not only ourselves but also the collective human condition. 6. Literary works. Sartre was also a renowned novelist, playwright, and literary critic. His literary works, such as the play No Exit and the novel Nausea, explore existential themes and exemplify his philosophical ideas through vivid characters and situations. 7. Political engagement. Sartre was politically active and engaged in various social and political causes. He espoused leftist and Marxist ideals and was involved in anti-colonial and anti-imperialist movements. Sartre's political activism and writings had a significant influence on French intellectual and political life. 8. Influence on philosophy and literature. Sartre's works had a profound impact on both philosophy and literature. His ideas on existentialism, freedom, and responsibility challenged traditional philosophical and societal norms, shaping subsequent philosophical discourse and inspiring artists and thinkers across the world. Jean-Paul Sartre's contributions to existentialism and his exploration of human freedom and responsibility continue to be influential in philosophical, literary, and cultural spheres. His ideas provoke introspection and invite individuals to confront the complexities and possibilities of human existence. Public civil service values. Public civil service values refer to the principles and ideals that guide the behavior and actions of individuals working in public service positions. These values are essential for ensuring the effective and ethical functioning of government institutions and promoting the common good. Here are some common public civil service values. 1. Integrity. Public servants are expected to uphold the highest standards of integrity, honesty, and ethical conduct. They should act with transparency, fairness, and impartiality in their decision-making and be accountable for their actions. 2. Impartiality and non-partisanship. Public servants should serve the public interest without favoritism or bias. They should act objectively, treating all individuals and groups equally and without prejudice, irrespective of their political affiliations or personal beliefs. 3. Professionalism. Public servants should demonstrate professionalism in their conduct, interactions, and performance of their duties. This includes being knowledgeable, skilled, and competent in their respective fields, maintaining confidentiality when required, and respecting the boundaries of their roles. 4. Commitment to the public interest. Public servants have a duty to prioritize the well-being and welfare of the public. They should act in the best interest of the community, making decisions and implementing policies that promote the greater good and address the needs and concerns of the people they serve. 5. Accountability and responsibility. Public servants should take responsibility for their actions and decisions. They should be accountable to the public and their superiors, ensuring that their work is carried out effectively, efficiently, and in compliance with legal and regulatory frameworks. 6. Service orientation. Public servants should have a genuine commitment to serving others. They should demonstrate empathy, compassion, and a willingness to help and support the public, ensuring that their actions are driven by a desire to improve the lives of individuals and communities. 7. Respect for diversity and inclusion. Public servants should respect and value the diversity of individuals and communities they serve. They should promote inclusivity, equal treatment, and non-discrimination, creating an environment that respects and appreciates differences of race, ethnicity, gender, religion, and other identities. 8. Continuous learning and improvement. Public servants should engage in ongoing learning and professional development to enhance their knowledge, skills, and abilities. They should stay informed about emerging issues, trends, and best practices to effectively address the evolving needs of the public and improve the quality of their work. These values provide a framework for ethical and responsible behavior in public service. By upholding these values, public servants contribute to the efficient and effective functioning of government institutions and build public trust and confidence in the delivery of public services. Public civil service ethics in public administration. Public civil service ethics in public administration refers to the ethical principles and standards that guide the behavior and actions of individuals working in administrative roles within the public sector. These ethics are crucial for promoting integrity, accountability, and transparency in the delivery of public services and upholding the public interest. Here are some key aspects of public civil service ethics in public administration. 1. Integrity and honesty. Public administrators should demonstrate the highest levels of integrity and honesty in their actions and decisions. They should act with transparency, avoiding conflicts of interest and ensuring that their actions are driven by the public interest rather than personal gain. 2. Impartiality and fairness. Public administrators should be impartial and fair in their decision-making processes. They should treat all individuals and groups equally, without favoritism or bias, and make decisions based on merit, evidence, and the principles of justice. 3. Accountability and responsibility. Public administrators have a responsibility to be accountable for their actions and decisions. They should take ownership of their work, acknowledge mistakes if they occur, and be responsive to the public and their superiors. 4. Lawfulness and compliance. Public administrators should adhere to the laws, regulations, and policies governing their work. They should act within the legal framework, ensuring that their actions are lawful, just, and in line with the established rules and procedures. 5. Confidentiality and privacy. Public administrators often deal with sensitive information. They should respect and safeguard the confidentiality and privacy of individuals and organizations, adhering to data protection and privacy laws. 6. Professionalism and competence. Public administrators should maintain a high level of professionalism and competence in their work. They should continuously update their knowledge and skills, pursue professional development opportunities, and strive to deliver high-quality services to the public. 7. Ethical decision-making. Public administrators should employ ethical decision-making processes. They should consider the potential impacts of their decisions on stakeholders, assess risks, consult relevant experts, and seek to make decisions that are in the best interest of the public. 8. Public service orientation. Public administrators should have a genuine commitment to public service. They should prioritize the well-being and welfare of the public, seek to understand and address their needs, and ensure that their actions contribute to the betterment of society. By adhering to these ethical principles, public administrators contribute to the effective and ethical functioning of public administration. They promote public trust, accountability, and the delivery of quality public services that meet the needs of the community. Status and problems of public civil service. The status and problems of public civil service can vary across different countries and contexts. However, there are some common issues and challenges that are often observed. Here are some general aspects related to the status and problems of public civil service. Status of public civil service. 1. Prestige and reputation. Public civil service is often considered a prestigious profession, as it involves serving the public and contributing to the betterment of society. The role of public servants in policymaking, governance, and service delivery is crucial for the functioning of a country. 2. Stability and job security. Public civil service jobs are generally known for their stability and job security. Public servants often have permanent positions and enjoy benefits such as pensions, health insurance, and long-term employment prospects. 3. Opportunities for advancement. Public civil service careers often provide opportunities for advancement and career progression. There are hierarchies and promotions based on merit and experience, allowing individuals to climb the professional ladder. Problems and challenges. 1. Bureaucracy and red tape. Public civil service is often criticized for its bureaucratic nature and the excessive red tape involved in decision-making processes. This can result in delays, inefficiencies, and obstacles in the delivery of public services. 2. Corruption and ethical lapses. Corruption is a significant problem in some public civil service sectors. Instances of bribery, nepotism, and favoritism can undermine the integrity of the public service and erode public trust. 3. Lack of accountability. In some cases, there is a lack of accountability and transparency within public civil service. Public servants may not be held sufficiently accountable for their actions, leading to a perception of impunity and diminishing public trust. 4. Skill and talent gap. Public civil service may face challenges in attracting and retaining skilled and talented individuals. The competition with the private sector and the perception of a rigid work environment can make it difficult to attract top talent. 5. Resistance to change. Public civil service can sometimes be resistant to change and innovation. Bureaucratic structures and entrenched practices may hinder the adoption of new technologies, modernization efforts, and the implementation of more efficient and citizen-centric approaches. 6. Political interference. Public civil service can face challenges related to political interference. Political pressures and influence can impact decision-making processes, compromise merit-based appointments, and hinder the impartiality and autonomy of public servants. 7. Lack of diversity and representation. Public civil service may struggle with issues of diversity and representation, both in terms of gender and ethnic diversity. Ensuring a diverse and inclusive workforce is crucial for representing the interests and needs of a diverse society. Addressing these problems and challenges requires comprehensive reforms, including strengthening accountability mechanisms, promoting transparency, improving merit-based recruitment and promotions, enhancing training and professional development opportunities, and fostering a culture of innovation and openness to change. Additionally, promoting ethical standards, combating corruption, and ensuring diversity and inclusivity are vital for building a capable and trusted public civil service. Public civil service ethical concerns. Public civil service ethical concerns refer to the potential ethical issues and dilemmas that public servants may encounter in their roles and responsibilities. These concerns can vary depending on the specific context and country, but here are some common ethical concerns in public civil service. 1. Conflict of interest. Public servants may face situations where their personal interests or relationships conflict with their duties to act in the best interest of the public. This can include situations where they have financial interests, family ties, or personal connections that could influence their decision-making or create biases. 2. Corruption and bribery. Corruption is a significant ethical concern in public civil service. Accepting bribes, kickbacks, or engaging in corrupt practices undermines the integrity and fairness of public service and can lead to the misallocation of resources and a lack of trust from the public. 3. Misuse of public resources. Public servants have a responsibility to manage public resources effectively and efficiently. Misusing public funds, using public resources for personal gain, or engaging in fraudulent practices is a serious ethical concern that can harm public trust and impede the delivery of essential services. 4. Lack of transparency and accountability. Ethical concerns can arise when public servants fail to uphold transparency and accountability. Lack of transparency in decision-making processes, failure to provide accurate and timely information to the public, or a lack of accountability for actions and decisions can erode trust in the public service. 5. Nepotism and favoritism. Nepotism and favoritism occur when public servants show preferential treatment to family members, friends, or acquaintances in hiring, promotions, or the allocation of resources. This undermines merit-based principles and fairness in public service. 6. Confidentiality and data protection. Public servants often handle sensitive information and have access to confidential data. Maintaining confidentiality and protecting personal data is an ethical responsibility. Breaching confidentiality or mishandling personal information can compromise privacy rights and erode public trust. 7. Political influence and partisanship. Public servants should remain impartial and independent from political influences in their decision-making. Engaging in partisan politics, using public resources for political gain, or allowing political considerations to influence decision-making can compromise the ethical integrity of public service. 8. Ethical leadership. Ethical concerns can also arise in the leadership of public civil service organizations. Leaders must set a strong ethical example, promote a culture of integrity, and hold themselves and their subordinates accountable for ethical behavior. Failure to provide ethical leadership can undermine the ethical fabric of the organization. Addressing these ethical concerns requires clear ethical standards, comprehensive codes of conduct, robust accountability mechanisms, and training programs that promote ethical decision-making and behavior. It is essential for public civil service organizations to foster a culture of integrity and uphold high ethical standards to maintain public trust and ensure the effective and ethical delivery of public services. Dilemmas in government. Dilemmas in government refer to complex and challenging situations that public officials and policymakers often face in their decision-making processes. These dilemmas can involve conflicting values, interests, or goals, making it difficult to determine the most appropriate course of action. Here are some common dilemmas in government. 1. Balancing individual liberties and public safety. Governments often face the dilemma of protecting individual liberties and privacy rights while ensuring public safety and security. This can arise in issues such as surveillance, law enforcement, counter-terrorism measures, or public health emergencies. 2. Economic development versus environmental sustainability. Governments must grapple with the dilemma of promoting economic growth and development while also addressing environmental concerns and sustainability. Finding a balance between economic progress and environmental protection can be challenging, particularly in industries such as energy, natural resource extraction, or urban planning. 3. Equity and resource allocation. Governments face dilemmas when allocating limited resources to address social inequalities and meet the needs of different segments of the population. Prioritizing one group's needs may lead to neglecting the needs of others, raising questions about fairness and social justice. 4. Short-term versus long-term decision-making. Government decision-makers often face the tension between short-term benefits and long-term consequences. This dilemma is evident in issues such as economic policies, infrastructure development, and climate change mitigation. Striking a balance between immediate gains and sustainable long-term outcomes can be challenging. 5. Political expediency versus ethical considerations. Politicians and policymakers sometimes face dilemmas between pursuing actions that align with political expediency or prioritizing ethical considerations. The pressure to gain public support or secure electoral victories can sometimes conflict with ethical principles and long-term societal interests. 6. Public opinion versus expertise. Governments must navigate the tension between public opinion and expert advice when making policy decisions. Public sentiment, which may be influenced by emotions, biases, or misinformation, may diverge from evidence-based expert recommendations. Striking a balance between democratic representation and informed decision-making can be a dilemma. 7. International relations and national interests. Governments face dilemmas when dealing with international relations. Balancing national interests, geopolitical considerations, and international obligations can create ethical and strategic dilemmas, particularly in areas such as trade, security, and human rights. Addressing these dilemmas requires thoughtful deliberation, ethical decision-making frameworks, stakeholder engagement, and transparency. It is essential for governments to establish robust mechanisms for assessing trade-offs, considering diverse perspectives, and promoting accountability to navigate these complex dilemmas effectively. Dilemmas in private institutions. Dilemmas in private institutions refer to complex and challenging situations that organizations operating in the private sector may encounter. These dilemmas can involve conflicting values, interests, or goals, making it difficult to determine the most appropriate course of action. Here are some common dilemmas in private institutions. 1. Profit maximization versus social responsibility. Private institutions often face the dilemma of balancing the pursuit of profit and shareholder value with broader social and environmental responsibilities. Decisions regarding resource allocation, pricing, and business practices may need to consider the impacts on stakeholders, community welfare, and sustainability. 2. Employee welfare versus cost efficiency. Private institutions face dilemmas related to employee welfare and cost efficiency. Balancing fair compensation, benefits, and working conditions with cost-cutting measures to remain competitive can be a challenge. Ethical considerations may arise in areas such as layoffs, outsourcing, or workforce diversity and inclusion. 3. Customer satisfaction versus ethical practices. Private institutions may confront dilemmas concerning customer satisfaction and ethical practices, balancing the need to meet customer demands and expectations with ethical considerations, such as product safety, honest advertising, and fair pricing, can be complex. Organizations must navigate potential conflicts between short-term gains and long-term reputation. 4. Privacy versus data collection. Private institutions operating in the digital age face dilemmas regarding privacy and data collection. The tension between collecting and utilizing customer data for business purposes while respecting privacy rights and protecting sensitive information can be challenging, particularly in the context of data breaches or surveillance concerns. 5. Transparency versus intellectual property protection. Private institutions may face dilemmas regarding transparency and intellectual property protection. Balancing the need for transparency and accountability with safeguarding proprietary information, trade secrets, and competitive advantage can present ethical challenges, especially in industries driven by innovation and intellectual property. 6. Global operations versus local context. Private institutions operating globally face dilemmas related to respecting local laws, cultural norms, and societal expectations while maintaining consistency across their operations. Navigating diverse regulatory environments, labor standards, and social norms can pose ethical dilemmas, particularly in areas such as human rights, supply chain management, and environmental practices. 7. Short-term financial performance versus long-term sustainability. Private institutions must grapple with the tension between short-term financial performance and long-term sustainability. Balancing the pressure to deliver immediate profits and shareholder value with investing in long-term growth, innovation, and environmental stewardship can be a significant challenge. Addressing these dilemmas requires organizations to establish strong ethical frameworks, stakeholder engagement processes, and decision-making mechanisms that consider diverse perspectives and long-term consequences. Adopting values-driven corporate cultures, ethical codes of conduct, and responsible business practices can help private institutions navigate these dilemmas in a principled and sustainable manner. Laws as sources of ethical guidance. Laws can serve as important sources of ethical guidance within a society. While laws and ethics are not identical, there is often an overlap between legal requirements and ethical principles. Here are a few ways in which laws can provide ethical guidance. 1. Laws establish minimum standards of behavior that are deemed acceptable within a society. These standards often reflect ethical principles and values, such as respect for human rights, fairness, and justice. By adhering to these legal requirements, individuals and organizations can ensure they meet the baseline ethical expectations of society. 2. Protecting rights and interests. Laws are often designed to protect the rights, interests, and well-being of individuals and groups. Legal frameworks establish rules and regulations that aim to prevent harm, ensure fairness, and promote equality. These legal protections align with ethical principles of justice, respect, and dignity. 3. Prohibiting unethical conduct. Laws can explicitly prohibit certain behaviors that are considered unethical or harmful to society. For example, laws against theft, fraud, and assault reflect ethical principles of honesty, integrity, and respect for others. By following these legal prohibitions, individuals can uphold ethical standards and contribute to a just and orderly society. 4. Promoting social good and public interest. Many laws are enacted to promote the social good and public interest. These laws address various issues, such as environmental protection, consumer rights, workplace safety, and public health. Compliance with these laws aligns with ethical principles of promoting well-being, fairness, and the common good. 5. Providing a framework for dispute resolution. Laws provide a legal framework for resolving disputes and conflicts. This framework often incorporates ethical principles of fairness, impartiality, and due process. By utilizing the legal system for dispute resolution, individuals can seek just and equitable outcomes consistent with ethical norms. While laws can provide a foundation for ethical guidance, it's important to note that ethical considerations can extend beyond legal requirements. Ethical decision-making may involve evaluating the moral implications of actions beyond what is mandated by law. Individuals and organizations should strive to go beyond mere compliance with laws and regulations and consider broader ethical principles and values when making choices and conducting themselves in society. Rules as sources of ethical guidance. Rules can serve as sources of ethical guidance by providing specific guidelines and standards of conduct that align with ethical principles. While rules and ethics are not synonymous, rules can help individuals and organizations navigate ethical dilemmas and ensure ethical behavior. Here are a few ways in which rules can provide ethical guidance. 1. Establishing boundaries. Rules define the boundaries of acceptable behavior within a particular context or domain. They outline what is permitted, required, or prohibited, and help individuals understand the limits of ethical conduct. By following these rules, individuals can ensure they operate within ethical parameters. 2. Promoting fairness and equality. Rules can be designed to promote fairness and equality by establishing equitable processes and treatment. For example, rules against discrimination or favoritism help ensure that individuals are treated fairly and without prejudice. By adhering to such rules, individuals contribute to ethical practices of equal opportunity and justice. 3. Protecting vulnerable individuals or groups. Rules often provide safeguards for the protection of vulnerable individuals or groups. For instance, rules that safeguard the rights of children, elderly individuals, or marginalized communities reflect ethical considerations of respect, care, and dignity. Following these rules helps to uphold ethical principles of compassion and empathy. 4. Fostering trust and integrity. Rules can promote trust and integrity by establishing standards of honesty, transparency, and accountability. Rules against fraud, dishonesty, or conflicts of interest help maintain trust between individuals and organizations. Adhering to these rules contributes to ethical behavior and upholds the values of honesty and integrity. 5. Ensuring safety and well-being. Rules related to safety, health, and well-being help protect individuals and prevent harm. By following rules that promote workplace safety, environmental protection, or public health, individuals demonstrate ethical concern for the welfare and well-being of others. 6. Providing clarity in decision-making. Rules can provide clarity and guidance in decision-making processes. They help individuals understand the expected behaviors, rights, and responsibilities within a specific context. By considering and following relevant rules, individuals can make informed decisions that align with ethical principles. It is important to note that rules should be based on ethical considerations and values, and they should be regularly reviewed and updated to ensure their ongoing relevance and effectiveness. Ethical decision-making may require considering the broader context and moral implications beyond strict adherence to rules. Nonetheless, rules can serve as a practical tool for promoting ethical behavior and establishing a framework for individuals and organizations to navigate ethical challenges. Regulations as sources of ethical guidance. Regulations can serve as sources of ethical guidance by providing specific requirements and standards that aim to promote ethical conduct within a particular industry or sector. While regulations and ethics are distinct concepts, regulations can incorporate ethical considerations and values. Here are a few ways in which regulations can provide ethical guidance. 1. Establishing minimum standards. Regulations set minimum standards of behavior that are legally required within a specific industry or sector. These standards often reflect ethical principles and values such as safety, fairness, and responsibility. By complying with these regulations, individuals and organizations can ensure they meet the baseline ethical expectations of their industry. 2. Protecting stakeholder interests. Regulations are often designed to protect the interests and rights of various stakeholders, including employees, consumers, and the public. These regulations may cover areas such as workplace safety, product quality, data protection, and environmental impact. Compliance with these regulations aligns with ethical principles of respect, fairness, and accountability to stakeholders. 3. Preventing harm and promoting public good. Regulations may be enacted to prevent harm and promote the public good. They address risks, hazards, or negative externalities associated with certain activities, products, or services. Compliance with these regulations aligns with ethical principles of preventing harm, promoting well-being, and contributing to the overall welfare of society. 4. Ensuring transparency and accountability. Regulations often include requirements for transparency, reporting, and accountability. They may mandate the disclosure of certain information, financial reporting, or governance practices. Compliance with these regulations fosters ethical practices by promoting transparency, integrity, and accountability within organizations. 5. Promoting equal treatment and non-discrimination. Regulations may include provisions that promote equal treatment, diversity, and non-discrimination. They may require equal employment opportunities, accessibility measures, or anti-discrimination policies. Compliance with these regulations reflects ethical principles of fairness, equality, and respect for diversity. 6. Addressing conflicts of interest and ethical concerns. Regulations can address specific ethical concerns and conflicts of interest within an industry. They may establish guidelines for managing conflicts, avoiding insider trading, or preventing unethical practices. Compliance with these regulations helps mitigate ethical risks and promotes ethical behavior. While regulations can provide ethical guidance within a specific legal framework, it's important to note that regulations alone may not cover all ethical considerations or address every ethical dilemma. Ethical decision-making may require individuals and organizations to consider broader ethical principles and values beyond what is legally required. Nonetheless, regulations can serve as a foundation for ethical conduct within a specific industry or sector and help ensure compliance with basic ethical standards. Conscience as sources of ethical guidance. Conscience can be considered a powerful source of ethical guidance for individuals. It refers to an internal moral compass or sense of right and wrong that guides one's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Conscience is often shaped by an individual's personal values, beliefs, and experiences. Here are a few ways in which conscience can act as a source of ethical guidance. 1. Inner voice of morality. Conscience serves as an inner voice that informs individuals about what they believe is morally right or wrong. It can provide a sense of moral duty and help individuals make ethical decisions based on their deeply held values and principles. 2. Personal integrity. Conscience plays a vital role in preserving personal integrity. It prompts individuals to act consistently with their own moral beliefs and values, even in the face of external pressures or temptations to compromise those values. 3. Moral autonomy. Conscience empowers individuals to think independently and critically about ethical issues. It encourages them to reflect on the moral implications of their choices and take personal responsibility for their actions. 4. Resisting unethical influences. Conscience can help individuals resist unethical influences or pressures from external sources. It provides a moral compass that guides individuals to act in accordance with their ethical principles, even when faced with conflicting interests or societal norms. 5. Empathy and compassion. Conscience fosters empathy and compassion by encouraging individuals to consider the impact of their actions on others. It prompts individuals to act in ways that promote the well-being and dignity of others, based on a deep understanding of their shared humanity. 6. Moral growth and development. Conscience evolves over time through introspection, learning, and experiences. It allows individuals to continuously evaluate and refine their ethical beliefs and behaviors, contributing to personal growth and moral development. 7. Ethical decision-making. Conscience plays a vital role in ethical decision-making. It prompts individuals to consider the ethical implications of their choices, weigh conflicting values or interests, and make decisions that align with their sense of moral rightness. While conscience can provide valuable ethical guidance, it is important to recognize that individual consciences may differ based on personal beliefs, cultural contexts, and subjective experiences. Ethical judgments based solely on personal conscience should be examined critically and balanced with other sources of ethical guidance, such as legal frameworks, social norms, and broader ethical principles. Engaging in open dialogue, seeking diverse perspectives, and considering the consequences of one's actions can help individuals navigate the complexities of ethical decision-making while relying on their conscience as a guiding force. Accountability. Accountability refers to the responsibility and answerability of individuals or organizations for their actions, decisions, and outcomes. It is the obligation to provide explanations and justifications for one's conduct and to accept the consequences, whether positive or negative. Accountability is a crucial aspect of ethical behavior and effective governance. Here are some key aspects of accountability. 1. Answerability. Accountability involves being answerable to others for one's actions, decisions, and performance. It requires individuals or organizations to provide explanations and justifications for their conduct and to be transparent about their intentions, processes, and outcomes. 2. Responsibility. Accountability entails taking ownership and acknowledging one's role and responsibilities. It involves understanding the impact and consequences of one's actions and accepting the duty to fulfill obligations and meet expectations. 3. Trust and integrity. Accountability is closely tied to trust and integrity. It requires individuals or organizations to act with honesty, sincerity, and transparency, thereby building trust with stakeholders and demonstrating integrity in their actions. 4. Compliance with standards. Accountability involves adherence to established standards, laws, regulations, and ethical principles. Individuals or organizations are held accountable for meeting these standards and are subject to scrutiny and evaluation to ensure compliance. 5. Consequences. Accountability includes accepting the consequences of one's actions, whether positive or negative. It involves recognizing and addressing any harm caused, rectifying mistakes, and learning from failures or successes to improve future performance. 6. Enforcement mechanisms. Accountability is often enforced through mechanisms such as monitoring, oversight, and evaluation. These mechanisms may include performance evaluations, audits, reporting requirements, and checks and balances to ensure that individuals or organizations are held accountable for their actions. 7. Public trust and confidence. Accountability is crucial for maintaining public trust and confidence in individuals or organizations. When individuals or organizations are held accountable, it enhances transparency, reduces corruption, and promotes public confidence in the fairness and effectiveness of governance. 8. Continuous improvement. Accountability involves a commitment to continuous improvement. It requires individuals or organizations to learn from past experiences, identify areas for improvement, and take corrective measures to enhance performance, efficiency, and ethical conduct. Accountability is essential for promoting ethical behavior, preventing abuse of power, and ensuring the proper functioning of institutions and organizations. It helps to foster a culture of responsibility, transparency, and trust, both within organizations and in society at large. Ethical governance. Ethical governance refers to the practice of incorporating ethical principles and values into the governance processes and decision-making of an organization or institution. It involves promoting integrity, transparency, accountability, and responsible conduct in all aspects of governance. Ethical governance ensures that ethical considerations are at the forefront of decision-making, and that the organization upholds high ethical standards in its operations. Here are some key aspects of ethical governance. 1. Ethical leadership. Ethical governance starts with ethical leadership. Leaders set the tone and example for ethical behavior within an organization. They promote a culture of integrity, honesty, and accountability, and they demonstrate ethical values through their actions and decisions. 2. Ethical frameworks and policies. Ethical governance relies on the establishment of ethical frameworks, policies, and codes of conduct. These frameworks provide guidance to employees, stakeholders, and decision-makers on expected ethical behavior, and they outline the values and principles that govern the organization's activities. 3. Stakeholder engagement. Ethical governance involves engaging stakeholders and considering their interests and perspectives in decision-making processes. It recognizes the importance of inclusivity, fairness, and respect for diverse viewpoints, ensuring that decisions are made in the best interest of all stakeholders. 4. Transparency and accountability. Ethical governance emphasizes transparency and accountability in organizational practices. It involves open communication, disclosure of relevant information, and clear reporting mechanisms. Accountability mechanisms are established to ensure that individuals and the organization as a whole are held responsible for their actions and decisions. 5. Risk management and ethical considerations. Ethical governance integrates ethical considerations into risk management processes. It involves identifying and assessing ethical risks, such as conflicts of interest or ethical dilemmas, and developing strategies to mitigate those risks. Ethical governance ensures that decisions take into account potential ethical implications and consequences. 6. Compliance with laws and regulations. Ethical governance requires compliance with applicable laws, regulations, and industry standards. It ensures that the organization operates within legal and regulatory frameworks and upholds legal and ethical obligations. 7. Continuous learning and improvement. Ethical governance promotes a culture of continuous learning and improvement. It involves regularly reviewing and updating ethical frameworks, policies, and practices to adapt to changing ethical standards, societal expectations, and emerging challenges. 8. Ethical decision making. Ethical governance encourages ethical decision making processes. It involves considering ethical implications, values, and principles when making decisions, weighing the potential impacts on stakeholders, and seeking to find solutions that align with ethical standards. By embracing ethical governance, organizations can foster trust, reputation, and long-term sustainability. Ethical governance ensures that the organization operates with integrity, upholds ethical principles, and meets the expectations of stakeholders and society as a whole. Strengthening of ethical and moral values in governance. Strengthening ethical and moral values in governance is crucial for promoting integrity, accountability, and responsible decision-making within governmental institutions. Here are some key approaches to enhance ethical and moral values in governance. 1. Leadership by example. Leaders play a pivotal role in setting the ethical tone and demonstrating moral values within governance. They should lead by example, displaying integrity, transparency, and ethical conduct in their actions and decisions. Leaders should promote ethical values and encourage others to uphold them. 2. Ethical codes and standards. Establishing comprehensive ethical codes and standards specific to governance can guide the behavior of public officials. These codes should outline the expected ethical conduct, values, and principles that public servants should adhere to. Regular training and awareness programs can reinforce ethical values and promote a common understanding of ethical responsibilities. 3. Transparency and accountability. Promoting transparency and accountability mechanisms is essential for strengthening ethical values. This includes implementing systems for public disclosure of information, financial reporting, and monitoring mechanisms to detect and address unethical practices. Effective enforcement of rules and regulations ensures that individuals are held accountable for their actions. 4. Ethical decision-making processes. Encouraging ethical decision-making processes helps embed moral values in governance. Implementing frameworks that require individuals to consider ethical implications, weigh competing interests, and seek guidance when faced with ethical dilemmas can foster ethical behavior. Promoting open dialogue and diverse perspectives can also enrich decision-making processes. 5. Ethical training and education. Investing in ethical training and education programs for public officials can enhance their awareness and understanding of ethical values and principles. Such programs can provide guidance on ethical decision-making, conflict resolution, and the importance of moral values in governance. Continuous learning opportunities can help individuals stay updated on emerging ethical challenges. 6. Stakeholder engagement and participation. Involving stakeholders in governance processes fosters a sense of ownership and promotes ethical values. Engaging citizens, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders in decision-making processes enhances transparency, accountability, and inclusivity. This engagement ensures that governance practices reflect the diverse interests and values of the society. 7. Encouraging ethical culture. Building an ethical culture within governance involves creating an environment that supports and rewards ethical behavior. Recognizing and promoting individuals who demonstrate ethical values can incentivize others to uphold similar principles. Encouraging ethical whistleblowing mechanisms can help uncover wrongdoing and ensure accountability. 8. Collaboration with civil society. Collaboration between governance institutions and civil society organizations can contribute to strengthening ethical values. Civil society can act as a watchdog, advocating for transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct in governance. Engaging with civil society organizations can foster mutual learning and the exchange of best practices. By incorporating these approaches, governance can foster an environment that upholds ethical and moral values. This, in turn, promotes public trust, enhances the effectiveness of governance institutions, and ensures that decisions and policies are grounded in principles of integrity, fairness, and the common good. Ethical issues in international relations. Ethical issues in international relations arise from the complex interactions between nations, international organizations, and global actors. These issues involve considerations of justice, human rights, sovereignty, and the pursuit of common global interests. Here are some common ethical issues in international relations. 1. Human rights violations. The violation of human rights is a significant ethical concern in international relations. Issues such as torture, genocide, discrimination, and suppression of freedom of speech and assembly raise moral questions about the responsibilities of nations to protect and promote human rights within their borders and beyond. 2. Armed conflicts and war. Ethical issues arise in situations of armed conflicts and war. Questions of just war theory, proportionality, civilian casualties, and the use of force come into play. Balancing national security interests with humanitarian considerations and the principles of international law presents ethical dilemmas. 3. Global inequality and poverty. The stark disparities in wealth, resources, and opportunities between nations give rise to ethical issues. Addressing global inequality and poverty requires examining issues such as fair trade, development assistance, debt relief, and the responsibility of wealthier nations to support the development of poorer nations. 4. Environmental degradation and climate change. The ethical implications of environmental degradation and climate change are increasingly recognized in international relations. Issues such as resource depletion, deforestation, pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions raise questions about intergenerational equity, common responsibility, and the duty to protect the environment for future generations. 5. Refugee and migration crisis. The ethical challenges associated with refugee and migration crisis involve considerations of human rights, hospitality, and responsibility sharing. Questions arise regarding the treatment of refugees, providing asylum, and addressing the root causes of displacement. 6. Nuclear proliferation and weapons of mass destruction. The proliferation of nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction raises ethical concerns about the potential consequences for humanity and the environment. Questions of disarmament, non-proliferation, and the balance between national security and global security are central to these ethical debates. 7. International trade and economic justice. Issues related to international trade, economic policies, and globalization raise ethical considerations. Fair trade, labor rights, intellectual property rights, and the distribution of benefits and burdens in global economic systems are subjects of ethical analysis. 8. Cultural diversity and cultural rights. Respecting and protecting cultural diversity and the rights of minority groups is an ethical concern in international relations. Balancing the promotion of human rights and democratic values with cultural relativism and the preservation of cultural identities requires careful ethical deliberation. Addressing these ethical issues requires dialogue, cooperation, and the application of ethical principles and international norms. International institutions, such as the United Nations and regional organizations, play a crucial role in facilitating discussions and promoting ethical practices. Adherence to international law, respect for human rights, and commitment to moral values can contribute to the establishment of a just, peaceful, and cooperative international order. Ethical issues in funding. Ethical issues in funding arise when considering the sources, allocation, and impact of financial resources. These issues involve questions of transparency, accountability, fairness, and the ethical implications of financial decisions. Here are some common ethical issues in funding. 1. Source of funding. Ethical concerns may arise regarding the sources of funding. Organizations and individuals need to consider the ethical implications of accepting funding from entities involved in illegal activities, human rights abuses, or environmentally harmful practices. Assessing the compatibility of the funding source's values and practices with the organization's mission and ethical standards is important. 2. Conflict of interest. Funding decisions can be influenced by conflicts of interest, which raise ethical concerns. Individuals responsible for allocating funds should ensure that personal interests or relationships do not compromise their objectivity and impartiality. Transparent disclosure of potential conflicts of interest is crucial to maintaining integrity in funding processes. 3. Fairness and equity. Ethical issues arise when funding allocations are unfair or perpetuate existing inequalities. Distributing funds in a way that addresses systemic disadvantages, promotes equal opportunities, and reduces disparities can help ensure fairness and equity. 4. Donor influence. Donors may seek to exert influence or control over the activities and decisions of the funded organization. Ethical concerns arise when this influence compromises the independence, mission, or values of the organization. Organizations need to establish clear guidelines and safeguards to protect their autonomy and integrity. 5. Accountability and transparency. Ethical funding practices require accountability and transparency in financial decision making. This includes providing clear and accurate information about funding sources, allocation processes, and outcomes. Ensuring transparency builds trust with stakeholders and allows for scrutiny and accountability. 6. Ethical use of funds. Organizations have a responsibility to use funds in an ethical manner aligned with their mission and objectives. This involves avoiding wasteful or frivolous expenditures and ensuring that funds are used for intended purposes that benefit stakeholders. Financial practices should adhere to ethical principles such as prudence, integrity, and responsible stewardship. 7. Impact on mission and values. Funding decisions should consider the potential impact on an organization's mission, values, and long-term goals. Organizations need to assess whether accepting funding aligns with their core values and whether any potential conflicts or compromises may arise. 8. Environmental and social impact. Ethical funding practices involve considering the environmental and social impact of funding decisions. Organizations should assess whether funding sources or projects align with sustainability goals, human rights standards, and social responsibility principles. Addressing these ethical issues in funding requires organizations to establish clear guidelines, ethical frameworks, and accountability mechanisms. Engaging in dialogue with stakeholders, conducting due diligence on funding sources, and regularly evaluating the impact of funding decisions can help ensure ethical practices in funding processes. Organizations should prioritize transparency, fairness, and the alignment of funding decisions with their mission and ethical values. Corporate governance. Corporate governance refers to the system of rules, practices, and processes by which companies are directed, controlled, and managed. It involves the relationships between various stakeholders, such as shareholders, boards of directors, management, employees, and other parties. Effective corporate governance promotes transparency, accountability, ethical behavior, and the protection of stakeholders' interests. Here are some key aspects of corporate governance. 1. Board of Directors. The Board of Directors is a central element of corporate governance. It provides oversight, strategic guidance, and decision-making authority. The board is responsible for setting the company's direction, ensuring compliance with laws and regulations, and safeguarding the interests of shareholders and other stakeholders. 2. Shareholder rights and engagement. Corporate governance should protect and promote the rights of shareholders. This includes ensuring the right to vote, access to information, and the opportunity to participate in decision-making processes. Shareholder engagement mechanisms, such as general meetings and proxy voting, enable shareholders to voice their concerns and exercise their rights. 3. Transparency and disclosure. Corporate governance emphasizes transparency and disclosure of information to stakeholders. Companies should provide timely, accurate, and comprehensive information about their financial performance, corporate strategy, risks, and governance practices. Transparent reporting builds trust, enhances accountability, and allows stakeholders to make informed decisions. 4. Ethical conduct and accountability. Corporate governance promotes ethical conduct throughout the organization. This involves establishing a code of conduct, ethical policies, and mechanisms to prevent conflicts of interest, corruption, and unethical behavior. Accountability mechanisms, such as internal controls, audits, and independent oversight, hold individuals and the organization responsible for their actions. 5. Risk management. Effective corporate governance includes robust risk management practices. Companies should identify and assess risks, establish risk management frameworks, and implement measures to mitigate and monitor risks. This ensures that potential risks to the organization and stakeholders are identified and managed effectively. 6. Stakeholder engagement. Corporate governance recognizes the importance of engaging with stakeholders beyond shareholders. Companies should consider the interests of employees, customers, suppliers, communities, and other relevant stakeholders. Engaging with stakeholders fosters mutual understanding, helps identify emerging issues, and promotes the long-term sustainability of the organization. 7. Long-term value creation. Corporate governance encourages a focus on long-term value creation rather than short-term gains. This involves considering the interests of all stakeholders, sustainable business practices, and responsible investment decisions. Balancing the needs of different stakeholders and considering environmental, social, and governance (ESG) factors contributes to long-term success and resilience. 8. Compliance and legal obligations. Corporate governance ensures compliance with applicable laws, regulations, and industry standards. Companies should establish processes and systems to monitor compliance, identify legal risks, and address any non-compliance. Adherence to legal obligations is a fundamental aspect of good corporate governance. By implementing strong corporate governance practices, companies can enhance transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior. Good corporate governance inspires trust, attracts investment, and contributes to the long-term success and sustainability of the organization. Probity in governance. Probity in governance refers to the adherence to high standards of integrity, honesty, and ethical conduct in the exercise of public office or authority. It is the commitment to upholding moral principles, transparency, accountability, and the responsible use of power in governance. Probity in governance ensures that public officials act in the best interest of the public and maintain public trust. Here are some key aspects of probity in governance. 1. Integrity and ethics. Probity in governance requires public officials to act with integrity, demonstrating honesty, fairness, and ethical behavior in their decision-making and actions. It involves upholding principles such as transparency, accountability, and the avoidance of conflicts of interest. 2. Transparency and accountability. Probity in governance emphasizes the importance of transparency and accountability in the exercise of public authority. Public officials should be open and honest in their actions, decisions, and use of public resources. Transparent processes, public disclosure of information, and effective mechanisms for oversight and scrutiny contribute to probity. 3. Fairness and impartiality. Probity in governance involves treating all individuals and stakeholders fairly and impartially, without favoritism or discrimination. Public officials should exercise their authority in a manner that upholds justice, equality, and the rule of law. 4. Responsible use of power. Probity in governance requires public officials to exercise their power responsibly, recognizing that their authority is entrusted to them for the benefit of the public. This includes making decisions based on evidence, sound judgment, and consideration of the long-term interests of the public. 5. Avoidance of corruption and misconduct. Probity in governance necessitates a commitment to preventing and combating corruption and misconduct. Public officials should be vigilant in identifying and addressing any forms of bribery, fraud, embezzlement, or misuse of public resources. Effective systems for reporting and investigating wrongdoing are essential for maintaining probity. 6. Public engagement and participation. Probity in governance involves engaging with the public and allowing their meaningful participation in decision-making processes. Encouraging citizen input, public consultations, and fostering a culture of dialogue and inclusion enhances probity by ensuring that decisions are made in the public interest. 7. Institutional strengthening. Probity in governance requires strong institutions with clear mandates, checks and balances, and independent oversight mechanisms. Strengthening the capacity and independence of institutions such as anti-corruption bodies, audit institutions, and judicial systems supports probity in governance. 8. Ethical leadership. Probity in governance starts with ethical leadership. Leaders in governance should exemplify high standards of probity, serving as role models for others. They should promote a culture of integrity, ethical behavior, and probity throughout the organization. Promoting probity in governance is essential for building public trust, ensuring effective and accountable governance, and fostering sustainable development. It requires a comprehensive approach that encompasses legal frameworks, institutional mechanisms, ethical leadership, and a commitment to upholding moral principles and values. Concept of public service. The concept of public service refers to the act of serving the public and working for the collective well-being and interest of society. It involves individuals dedicating themselves to work in government, non-profit organizations, and other institutions that serve the public and address the needs of the community. Public service is guided by the principles of integrity, accountability, transparency, and a commitment to the common good. Here are some key aspects of the concept of public service. 1. Serving the public. Public service is centered around serving the needs and interests of the public. Public servants work to address societal challenges, provide essential services, and promote the welfare of individuals and communities. 2. Commitment to the common good. Public service is driven by a commitment to the common good rather than personal gain. Public servants prioritize the interests and well-being of the broader society over narrow self-interest. 3. Ethical behavior. Public service requires ethical behavior, characterized by integrity, honesty, and adherence to high moral standards. Public servants must act in a manner that upholds public trust, demonstrating fairness, impartiality, and accountability in their actions and decisions. 4. Responsibility and accountability. Public servants have a responsibility to effectively and efficiently carry out their duties, making decisions that are in the best interest of the public. They are accountable for their actions and should be transparent in their decision-making processes. 5. Respect for diversity and inclusion. Public service involves valuing and respecting the diversity of individuals and communities. Public servants should promote inclusivity, embrace different perspectives, and ensure that their services and policies are accessible and equitable for all. 6. Professionalism and expertise. Public service requires a commitment to professionalism and continuous improvement. Public servants should strive to develop their skills, knowledge, and expertise to better serve the public and make informed decisions. 7. Collaboration and cooperation. Public service often involves working collaboratively with various stakeholders, including other public servants, government agencies, non-profit organizations, and the private sector. Effective collaboration and cooperation help in achieving collective goals and maximizing the impact of public service initiatives. 8. Public trust and confidence. Public service is built upon public trust and confidence. Public servants should conduct themselves in a manner that preserves and enhances trust, acting as responsible stewards of public resources and demonstrating a genuine commitment to the public's best interests. The concept of public service reflects the idea that working for the betterment of society is a noble and essential endeavor. It requires individuals to put the needs of the public first, uphold ethical standards, and work diligently to address societal challenges and improve the quality of life for all. Philosophical basis of governance. The philosophical basis of governance encompasses various philosophical perspectives and theories that inform the principles, values, and concepts underlying the practice of governance. These philosophical foundations shape the understanding of the purpose and nature of governance, the relationship between the government and the governed, and the ideals that should guide decision-making and policy development. Here are some key philosophical perspectives that contribute to the basis of governance. 1. Social contract theory. Social contract theory, popularized by thinkers such as Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, posits that individuals voluntarily enter into a social contract to form a government in order to secure their rights, protect their interests, and maintain social order. This theory emphasizes the consent and legitimacy of government authority and highlights the importance of the government's responsibility to fulfill the expectations and needs of the governed. 2. Utilitarianism. Utilitarianism, associated with philosophers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, focuses on maximizing overall societal happiness or well-being. From a governance perspective, utilitarianism argues for policies and decisions that generate the greatest overall happiness or welfare for the greatest number of people. It emphasizes the importance of assessing the consequences of actions and policies in terms of their overall utility and promoting the greatest good for the greatest number. 3. Liberalism. Liberalism, with roots in the works of thinkers such as John Locke, emphasizes individual liberty, equality, and the protection of individual rights. Liberalism provides a philosophical basis for democratic governance, advocating for limited government interference in individual affairs, protection of civil liberties, and the rule of law. It underscores the importance of protecting individual rights while balancing them with the collective interests of society. 4. Republicanism. Republicanism, derived from classical Republican thought and revived by contemporary scholars, emphasizes the common good and civic virtue. It views governance as a means to promote the welfare and freedom of citizens and emphasizes the participation of citizens in the political process. Republicanism emphasizes the importance of public virtue, civic engagement, and active citizenship in maintaining a just and well-functioning society. 5. Communitarianism. Communitarianism emphasizes the significance of community and social relationships in governance. It emphasizes the interconnectedness of individuals and the importance of shared values, norms, and traditions. Communitarianism emphasizes the collective well-being, social cohesion, and the responsibility of individuals to contribute to the common good. It highlights the role of community participation and dialogue in governance processes. 6. Feminist theory. Feminist theory focuses on challenging traditional power structures and promoting gender equality and social justice. From a governance perspective, feminist theory emphasizes the inclusion and representation of women in decision-making processes, the recognition of women's rights, and the elimination of gender-based discrimination. It emphasizes the importance of diverse perspectives, gender equality, and the inclusion of marginalized voices in governance. These philosophical perspectives provide a foundation for understanding the principles, values, and goals of governance. While different theories may emphasize different aspects, they collectively contribute to the philosophical basis of governance and shape the principles and practices that guide decision-making, policy development, and the pursuit of societal well-being. Philosophical basis of probity. The philosophical basis of probity, which refers to the adherence to high standards of integrity and ethical conduct, can be traced to various philosophical perspectives and principles. These philosophical foundations shape our understanding of the importance of probity in personal and professional life, as well as in governance and public administration. Here are some key philosophical elements that contribute to the basis of probity. 1. Virtue ethics. Virtue ethics, rooted in the works of Aristotle and other ancient philosophers, emphasizes the cultivation of virtuous character traits to guide moral behavior. Probity aligns with virtue ethics by focusing on the development and practice of virtues such as honesty, integrity, fairness, and accountability. Virtue ethics emphasizes that moral conduct is not just about adhering to rules, but about embodying virtuous qualities in one's character. 2. Deontology. Deontological ethics, associated with philosophers like Immanuel Kant, centers on moral duty and universal principles. Probity aligns with deontology by emphasizing the importance of adhering to moral rules and principles regardless of the consequences. It highlights the duty to act honestly, fulfill obligations, and uphold ethical norms in personal and professional conduct. 3. Consequentialism. Consequentialist ethics, exemplified by utilitarianism, focuses on the outcomes and consequences of actions. While probity does consider the impact of actions, it also recognizes that ethical conduct is not solely determined by outcomes. Probity emphasizes the importance of ethical conduct as an intrinsic value, regardless of the immediate or long-term consequences. 4. Ethics of care. The ethics of care, developed by feminist philosophers, emphasizes the significance of relationships, empathy, and compassion in ethical decision-making. Probity aligns with this perspective by emphasizing the importance of considering the impact of one's actions on others, fostering trust, and demonstrating a genuine concern for the well-being of others. 5. Social contract theory. Social contract theory, discussed by thinkers such as Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, emphasizes the idea that individuals voluntarily enter into agreements to form societies and governments. Probity aligns with social contract theory by recognizing the implicit social contract between individuals and society, and the responsibility of individuals to act with integrity and ethical conduct for the benefit of society. 6. Moral relativism. Moral relativism posits that ethical standards are subjective and vary across different cultures and individuals. While probity recognizes the cultural and contextual variations in ethical standards, it upholds the importance of adhering to universally recognized principles of integrity, honesty, and accountability. These philosophical perspectives provide a basis for understanding the importance of probity and the moral foundations that underpin it. Probity is grounded in the pursuit of moral excellence, upholding ethical principles, and demonstrating integrity in all aspects of life. It highlights the importance of personal character, ethical values, and a sense of moral duty in promoting honesty, fairness, and accountability. Information sharing. Information sharing refers to the exchange and dissemination of information between individuals, organizations, or entities. It involves the transfer of knowledge, data, or insights with the intention of conveying information, collaborating, making informed decisions, or promoting transparency. Information sharing plays a crucial role in various contexts, including business, academia, government, and everyday interactions. Here are some key aspects and benefits of information sharing. 1. Collaboration and cooperation. Information sharing enables collaboration and cooperation among individuals or organizations working towards a common goal. By sharing information, stakeholders can pool their knowledge, expertise, and resources to solve problems, make informed decisions, and achieve collective outcomes. 2. Knowledge expansion. Information sharing contributes to the expansion of knowledge and understanding. By exchanging information, individuals can gain new insights, perspectives, and ideas. It facilitates learning, innovation, and the generation of new knowledge. 3. Informed decision-making. Access to relevant and accurate information empowers individuals and organizations to make informed decisions. Sharing information provides a broader and more comprehensive understanding of a situation, allowing for better analysis, evaluation, and decision-making processes. 4. Problem solving. Information sharing supports problem-solving efforts. By sharing relevant information, individuals or groups can collectively analyze problems, identify solutions, and implement effective strategies. It encourages the exploration of diverse perspectives and the consideration of multiple options. 5. Transparency and accountability. Information sharing promotes transparency and accountability in various contexts, including governance, business, and public services. By openly sharing information, organizations and institutions can be held accountable for their actions, decisions, and outcomes. Transparency builds trust, enhances credibility, and fosters responsible behavior. 6. Building relationships and trust. Sharing information facilitates relationship building and the development of trust. Open and honest communication fosters positive interactions, strengthens partnerships, and promotes cooperation among individuals or organizations. 7. Empowerment and inclusion. Information sharing empowers individuals by providing them with access to knowledge and resources. It promotes inclusivity by ensuring that everyone has equal opportunities to participate, contribute, and benefit from shared information. Inclusion in information sharing processes enables diverse voices and perspectives to be heard and considered. 8. Efficiency and avoiding redundancy. Information sharing improves efficiency by avoiding duplication of efforts and redundant work. It allows individuals or organizations to leverage existing knowledge, data, or experiences, reducing time, resources, and costs associated with starting from scratch. It is important to note that while information sharing offers numerous benefits, considerations for privacy, security, and ethical use of information should be upheld. Safeguarding sensitive or confidential information, respecting intellectual property rights, and adhering to legal and ethical guidelines are essential in information sharing practices. Transparency in government. Transparency in government refers to the openness, accessibility, and accountability of governmental processes, actions, and decision-making. It involves making information available to the public, ensuring that government actions and policies are understandable, and facilitating public participation and scrutiny. Here are some key aspects and benefits of transparency in government. 1. Access to information. Transparency involves providing easy access to information related to government activities, policies, laws, and decision-making processes. This includes making public records, reports, budgets, and legislative proceedings readily available to the public. Access to information allows citizens to understand government actions, hold public officials accountable, and participate in the democratic process. 2. Accountability. Transparency holds government officials accountable for their actions and decisions. By providing visibility into governmental activities, it enables citizens, civil society organizations, and the media to monitor and scrutinize government actions. When public officials are aware that their decisions and actions are subject to public scrutiny, they are more likely to act in the public's best interest and be accountable for their conduct. 3. Trust and legitimacy. Transparency fosters trust and confidence in government institutions. When governments are transparent and open about their activities, citizens are more likely to trust that decisions are made in a fair and impartial manner. Transparency enhances the perceived legitimacy of government actions, strengthening the social contract between the government and its citizens. 4. Participatory democracy. Transparency encourages citizen engagement and participation in decision-making processes. By providing information and opportunities for public input, transparency enables citizens to actively contribute to policy discussions, express their views, and influence government decisions. Participatory democracy strengthens the democratic fabric of society and enhances the quality of decision-making by incorporating diverse perspectives. 5. Effective policymaking. Transparency supports evidence-based and effective policymaking. When government data, research, and analysis are openly available, policymakers can make informed decisions grounded in accurate information. Transparency also allows for peer review and collaboration, enabling experts, researchers, and stakeholders to contribute their knowledge and expertise to the policymaking process. 6. Prevention of corruption. Transparency is a crucial tool in preventing corruption and unethical behavior within government. By making government processes and transactions visible to the public, it becomes more difficult for public officials to engage in corrupt practices or misuse public resources. Transparency acts as a deterrent and promotes an environment of accountability and integrity. 7. Improved service delivery. Transparency in government can lead to improved service delivery. When citizens have access to information about government programs and services, they can better understand their entitlements and hold government accountable for providing high-quality services. Transparency also allows for feedback and complaints mechanisms, enabling governments to address issues and improve service delivery. 8. Economic development and investment. Transparent governance practices can attract domestic and foreign investment by providing confidence and certainty to businesses and investors. When government policies, regulations, and decision-making processes are transparent, it reduces the perception of risk and creates a favorable environment for economic growth and development. Transparency in government is a fundamental principle of good governance. It promotes openness, accountability, and citizen participation, fostering trust, legitimacy, and effective decision-making. Governments that prioritize transparency demonstrate their commitment to serving the public interest and upholding democratic values. Right to information. The right to information, RTI, is a fundamental human right that grants individuals the right to access and obtain information from public authorities. It ensures transparency, accountability, and citizen empowerment by enabling individuals to seek and receive information about government actions, decisions, policies, and public resources. Here are some key aspects and benefits of the right to information. 1. Access to information. The right to information guarantees individuals the ability to access information held by public authorities. This includes documents, records, reports, and other forms of information related to governmental activities, policies, and decision-making processes. Access to information enables citizens to understand and engage with government actions, facilitating informed participation in public affairs. 2. Transparency and accountability. The right to information promotes transparency and accountability in governance. By making information accessible to the public, it allows for scrutiny of government activities, policies, and expenditures. This transparency fosters public trust, helps prevent corruption, and holds public officials accountable for their actions. 3. Empowering citizens. The right to information empowers individuals by giving them the tools to exercise their rights and participate in democratic processes. It enables citizens to make informed decisions, engage in public discourse, and contribute to policymaking and governance. Access to information empowers marginalized groups and promotes social justice by providing them with a platform to voice their concerns and advocate for their rights. 4. Effective public policy. The right to information contributes to effective public policy making. It ensures that decisions are based on accurate information, data, and evidence. Access to information allows policymakers to consider multiple perspectives, engage with stakeholders, and make informed choices that are in the public interest. 5. Combating corruption. The right to information is a powerful tool in combating corruption. It enables individuals to expose corrupt practices, demand accountability, and seek redress. Access to information helps uncover financial irregularities, misuse of public resources, and unethical behavior within government institutions. 6. Participatory democracy. The right to information strengthens participatory democracy by facilitating citizen engagement and involvement in public affairs. Access to information allows citizens to actively participate in decision-making processes, express their views, and contribute to policy discussions. Inclusive and participatory governance leads to more responsive and representative decision-making. 7. Promoting human rights. The right to information is closely linked to the protection and promotion of other human rights. It enables individuals to exercise their rights to freedom of expression, access to information, and participation in public life. Access to information is crucial for holding governments accountable for the fulfillment of human rights obligations. 8. Economic development. The right to information contributes to economic development by promoting transparency, attracting investment, and fostering a favorable business environment. Access to information allows businesses and investors to make informed decisions, assess risks, and engage with the government in a transparent manner. The right to information is recognized internationally as a fundamental human right and is enshrined in laws and constitutions of many countries. It serves as a vital tool for citizens to engage with their governments, exercise their rights, and promote transparent and accountable governance. Codes of ethics. Codes of ethics are sets of principles or guidelines that outline the expected behavior, values, and professional standards for individuals or organizations in a particular profession, industry, or context. These codes serve as ethical frameworks, providing guidance and promoting ethical conduct in decision-making, interactions, and professional responsibilities. Here are some key aspects and benefits of codes of ethics. 1. Professional conduct. Codes of ethics establish standards for professional conduct and behavior. They outline the expected ethical behavior, integrity, and honesty that individuals or organizations should adhere to in their professional roles. Codes of ethics set the foundation for maintaining professionalism, trust, and credibility within a profession or industry. 2. Guidance for decision-making. Codes of ethics provide guidance and principles for making ethical decisions. They offer a framework to evaluate ethical dilemmas, navigate complex situations, and determine the appropriate course of action. Codes of ethics help individuals or organizations consider the ethical implications and consequences of their decisions and actions. 3. Promoting ethical culture. Codes of ethics contribute to fostering an ethical culture within organizations or professions. They define shared values, norms, and expectations, promoting a common understanding of ethical behavior and professional standards. Codes of ethics encourage a collective commitment to integrity, accountability, and responsible conduct. 4. Stakeholder trust. Adhering to codes of ethics enhances stakeholder trust. Clients, customers, employees, and the public have confidence in organizations or professionals who operate with ethical principles and commitments. Codes of ethics help build and maintain trust, as they demonstrate a commitment to ethical practices and responsible behavior. 5. Professional reputation. Codes of ethics contribute to shaping the reputation of a profession or organization. When individuals or organizations consistently follow ethical standards, they establish a positive reputation for integrity, professionalism, and ethical conduct. A strong reputation attracts clients, customers, and employees who value ethical behavior. 6. Accountability and compliance. Codes of ethics promote accountability and compliance with ethical standards. They provide a benchmark against which individuals or organizations can assess their own behavior and actions. Codes of ethics also establish a mechanism for addressing ethical violations and misconduct, ensuring appropriate consequences for unethical behavior. 7. Continuous improvement. Codes of ethics encourage ongoing learning and development. They promote professional growth, encourage individuals to stay updated on ethical issues, and provide opportunities for training and education. Codes of ethics stimulate self-reflection and continuous improvement in ethical decision-making and behavior. 8. Public interest and social responsibility. Codes of ethics often include provisions for considering the public interest and social responsibility. They guide professionals or organizations to prioritize the well-being and best interests of clients, consumers, or the broader society. Codes of ethics highlight the importance of considering social, environmental, and ethical implications in professional practice. Codes of ethics are tailored to specific professions or contexts, such as medicine, law, business, or non-profit organizations. They are designed to promote ethical behavior, guide decision-making, and ensure responsible conduct within the respective field. Adhering to codes of ethics contributes to maintaining high ethical standards, fostering trust, and upholding the values and integrity of the profession or organization. Codes of conduct. Codes of conduct are sets of rules or guidelines that outline expected behavior and standards of conduct for individuals within a specific organization, institution, or community. These codes serve as frameworks to promote ethical behavior, professionalism, and appropriate conduct in various settings. Here are some key aspects and benefits of codes of conduct. 1. Behavioral expectations. Codes of conduct establish clear expectations regarding appropriate behavior and conduct within an organization or community. They provide guidelines for interactions, communication, and decision-making, ensuring that individuals understand the boundaries and standards of conduct they should uphold. 2. Ethical standards. Codes of conduct often include ethical principles and values that individuals are expected to follow. These ethical standards help guide decision-making, encouraging individuals to consider the ethical implications of their actions and to act in alignment with moral principles. 3. Promoting a positive culture. Codes of conduct contribute to fostering a positive and inclusive culture within an organization or community. They establish shared values, norms, and expectations that support respect, fairness, diversity, and inclusivity. A positive culture enhances collaboration, teamwork, and a sense of belonging among members. 4. Professionalism and integrity. Codes of conduct promote professionalism and integrity by setting standards for professional behavior. They encourage individuals to act with honesty, integrity, and transparency in their interactions and work-related activities. Codes of conduct emphasize the importance of upholding the reputation and credibility of the organization or community. 5. Compliance and legal requirements. Codes of conduct ensure compliance with applicable laws, regulations, and legal requirements. They help individuals understand their legal obligations and prevent misconduct or violations that may result in legal consequences. Codes of conduct also establish mechanisms for reporting and addressing unethical or unlawful behavior. 6. Accountability and consequences. Codes of conduct provide a framework for holding individuals accountable for their behavior and actions. They establish procedures for reporting, investigating, and addressing violations of the code. Clear consequences for misconduct or breaches of the code help maintain order, discipline, and a sense of fairness within the organization or community. 7. Trust and reputation. Adherence to codes of conduct builds trust among stakeholders, including employees, customers, clients, and the public. It demonstrates a commitment to ethical behavior, professionalism, and responsible conduct. Trust and a positive reputation enhance relationships, attract stakeholders, and contribute to long-term success. 8. Continuous improvement. Codes of conduct promote continuous improvement by encouraging individuals to reflect on their behavior, learn from mistakes, and seek ways to enhance their conduct. They can provide a basis for training, mentoring, and ongoing development programs aimed at improving ethical awareness and behavior. Codes of conduct are customized to the specific needs and values of an organization, community, or profession. They play a crucial role in establishing a framework for ethical behavior, setting behavioral expectations, and promoting a positive culture within the respective setting. By upholding codes of conduct, individuals and organizations demonstrate their commitment to ethical standards, professionalism, and responsible conduct. Citizens' charters. Citizens' charters are documents or commitments made by public sector organizations or government agencies to provide high-quality services to citizens. These charters outline the rights, entitlements, and expectations of citizens in relation to the services provided by the organization. They aim to improve transparency, accountability, and efficiency in public service delivery. Here are some key aspects and benefits of citizens' charters. 1. Service standards. Citizens' charters establish clear service standards and commitments that citizens can expect when accessing public services. These standards include parameters such as timelines, quality, accessibility, and responsiveness of services. By setting benchmarks for service delivery, citizens' charters ensure that citizens receive timely and efficient services. 2. Information and transparency. Citizens' charters provide comprehensive information about the services offered by the organization, including eligibility criteria, application procedures, fees, and grievance redressal mechanisms. This promotes transparency and allows citizens to make informed decisions and access services without ambiguity. 3. Accountability and grievance redressal. Citizens' charters emphasize accountability by defining the responsibilities of the organization and its employees in delivering services. They also outline the procedure for grievance redressal, ensuring that citizens have a platform to voice their concerns and seek resolution for any grievances they may have. 4. Empowerment of citizens. Citizens' charters empower citizens by making them aware of their rights and entitlements. By providing clear information and guidelines, citizens are equipped to assert their rights, demand quality services, and hold the organization accountable for any lapses in service delivery. 5. Continuous improvement. Citizens' charters promote a culture of continuous improvement within the organization. They encourage the organization to periodically review and update service standards based on feedback from citizens and changing needs and expectations. This leads to ongoing improvements in service quality and effectiveness. 6. Participation and feedback. Citizens' charters provide mechanisms for citizen participation and feedback. They encourage citizens to actively engage with the organization, share their experiences, and provide suggestions for improvement. Citizen feedback helps organizations identify areas for improvement and adapt their services to better meet citizen needs. 7. Trust and public confidence. Citizens' charters help build trust and public confidence in government services. By clearly defining service standards and commitments, and by providing avenues for redressal, organizations demonstrate their commitment to providing quality services. This fosters trust and confidence among citizens in the ability of the organization to meet their needs. 8. Performance evaluation. Citizens' charters facilitate the evaluation of service performance and accountability. Organizations can measure their performance against the commitments made in the charter, identify gaps, and take corrective actions to improve service delivery. Citizens' charters play a vital role in promoting citizen-centric governance and enhancing the quality of public service delivery. By outlining service standards, promoting transparency, and providing mechanisms for citizen participation and redressal, citizens' charters contribute to efficient, accountable, and citizen-focused public administration. Work culture. Work culture refers to the shared values, attitudes, beliefs, norms, and behaviors that characterize an organization or workplace. It encompasses the overall environment and atmosphere in which work is performed, including the interactions between employees, management styles, communication patterns, and the organization's values and mission. Here are some key aspects and benefits of a positive work culture. 1. Collaboration and teamwork. A positive work culture fosters collaboration and teamwork among employees. It promotes a sense of unity, cooperation, and collective effort towards achieving common goals. Collaboration improves communication, problem solving, and overall productivity. 2. Open communication. A positive work culture encourages open and transparent communication at all levels of the organization. It promotes effective information sharing, active listening, and constructive feedback. Open communication enhances understanding, trust, and the exchange of ideas, leading to better decision-making and problem-solving. 3. Employee engagement. A positive work culture values and prioritizes employee engagement. It creates an environment where employees feel valued, recognized, and involved in decision-making processes. Engaged employees are more committed, motivated, and satisfied, leading to higher productivity and performance. 4. Respect and inclusion. A positive work culture fosters respect, diversity, and inclusion. It promotes a climate of mutual respect, where differences are valued and individuals are treated fairly and without discrimination. A culture of respect and inclusion enhances employee morale, teamwork, and creativity. 5. Work-life balance. A positive work culture recognizes the importance of work-life balance. It supports flexible work arrangements, encourages employees to take time off, and promotes well-being initiatives. A healthy work-life balance reduces stress, improves job satisfaction, and increases productivity. 6. Learning and growth. A positive work culture values continuous learning and personal growth. It encourages employees to develop their skills, provides opportunities for training and development, and promotes a culture of innovation and creativity. A culture of learning enhances employee satisfaction, retention, and adaptability to change. 7. Accountability and trust. A positive work culture emphasizes accountability and trust. It holds employees accountable for their actions, encourages taking ownership of tasks, and promotes trust between employees and management. Accountability and trust create a supportive work environment where employees feel empowered and motivated. 8. Adaptability and resilience. A positive work culture embraces adaptability and resilience in the face of challenges and change. It promotes a growth mindset, encourages experimentation, and supports learning from failures. An adaptable and resilient work culture enables employees to navigate change effectively and promotes a spirit of innovation. A positive work culture contributes to employee satisfaction, well-being, and overall organizational success. It fosters a productive and engaging work environment where employees feel valued, motivated, and supported. A strong work culture attracts and retains talented individuals, enhances teamwork, and drives organizational performance. Quality of service delivery. Quality of service delivery refers to the level of excellence and satisfaction experienced by customers or clients when they interact with a service provider. It is a measure of how well the service meets or exceeds customer expectations and requirements. Here are some key aspects and benefits of delivering high-quality services. 1. Customer satisfaction. High-quality service delivery leads to increased customer satisfaction. When customers receive services that meet or exceed their expectations, they are more likely to be satisfied with their experience. Satisfied customers are more likely to become repeat customers, refer others to the service provider, and maintain a positive perception of the organization. 2. Customer loyalty. Quality service delivery fosters customer loyalty. When customers consistently receive high-quality services, they develop trust and confidence in the service provider. Loyal customers are more likely to continue using the services, remain loyal during challenging times, and become advocates for the organization, positively influencing others to engage with the service provider. 3. Positive reputation. Delivering high-quality services enhances the reputation of the service provider. Positive word-of-mouth recommendations and reviews from satisfied customers contribute to a strong reputation. A good reputation attracts new customers, creates opportunities for growth, and differentiates the service provider from competitors. 4. Increased efficiency and effectiveness. High-quality service delivery involves efficient and effective processes. Service providers that prioritize quality often invest in streamlining operations, enhancing productivity, and optimizing resources. This leads to improved efficiency, reduced costs, and better allocation of resources, ultimately benefiting both the service provider and customers. 5. Trust and credibility. Quality service delivery builds trust and credibility. When customers consistently receive reliable and satisfactory services, they develop confidence in the service provider's capabilities. Trust and credibility are essential for establishing long-term relationships with customers and fostering a positive reputation in the market. 6. Continuous improvement. A focus on quality service delivery promotes a culture of continuous improvement. Service providers that value quality actively seek feedback from customers, monitor performance indicators, and use data to identify areas for improvement. They strive to enhance their services, address customer needs, and adapt to changing demands, ensuring ongoing customer satisfaction. 7. Competitive advantage. Delivering high-quality services provides a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Organizations that consistently deliver superior services differentiate themselves from competitors and attract customers seeking reliable and satisfactory experiences. A strong reputation for quality can be a key factor in winning new customers and maintaining a loyal customer base. 8. Positive employee engagement. Quality service delivery requires the involvement and commitment of employees. When employees are engaged and motivated to deliver high-quality services, they take pride in their work, feel valued, and contribute to a positive customer experience. Positive employee engagement contributes to employee satisfaction, retention, and overall organizational success. By prioritizing the quality of service delivery, organizations can enhance customer satisfaction, loyalty, and their reputation in the marketplace. Quality services not only benefit customers but also improve operational efficiency, employee engagement, and the long-term success of the service provider. Utilization of public funds. The utilization of public funds refers to the management, allocation, and expenditure of financial resources that belong to the public, typically collected through taxes and other sources. It involves ensuring that public funds are used effectively, efficiently, transparently, and in accordance with legal and ethical standards. Here are some key considerations and benefits related to the utilization of public funds. 1. Accountability. Utilizing public funds requires a high level of accountability to the public. Government entities and public institutions are responsible for managing public funds in a transparent manner and being answerable to the public for how the funds are allocated and spent. 2. Transparency. Transparency is essential in the utilization of public funds. It involves providing clear and accessible information about the allocation and expenditure of public funds. Transparency enables citizens to understand how their tax contributions are being utilized and promotes trust and public confidence in the management of public finances. 3. Efficiency and effectiveness. The efficient and effective utilization of public funds is crucial. This involves ensuring that funds are allocated to achieve the desired outcomes and that they are used in the most efficient and cost-effective manner. Efficiency and effectiveness lead to maximizing the impact and value of public funds, ensuring that they are utilized for the benefit of the public. 4. Prioritization and planning. Public funds should be allocated based on careful prioritization and long-term planning. This involves identifying and addressing the most pressing needs and allocating resources accordingly. Prioritization and planning help optimize the utilization of public funds, ensuring that they are directed to areas of highest importance and impact. 5. Compliance with legal and ethical standards. The utilization of public funds must adhere to legal and ethical standards. This includes following budgetary regulations, procurement procedures, financial management guidelines, and anti-corruption measures. Compliance with legal and ethical standards promotes integrity, prevents misuse of funds, and ensures that public funds are utilized in a responsible and accountable manner. 6. Public participation. Involving the public in decisions related to the utilization of public funds can enhance transparency, accountability, and effectiveness. Public participation mechanisms such as public consultations, citizen budgeting, and participatory budgeting allow citizens to provide input, voice their priorities, and contribute to decision-making processes. 7. Monitoring and evaluation. Regular monitoring and evaluation of the utilization of public funds is essential to ensure accountability and to identify areas for improvement. Monitoring allows for the detection of financial irregularities or misuse of funds, while evaluation helps assess the impact and effectiveness of fund utilization and informs future decision-making. 8. Socioeconomic development. Effective utilization of public funds can contribute to socioeconomic development by investing in infrastructure, social programs, education, healthcare, and other areas that benefit the public. Public funds can be used to address inequalities, promote economic growth, and improve the overall well-being of society. By prioritizing accountability, transparency, efficiency, and compliance with legal and ethical standards, the utilization of public funds can be optimized to serve the public interest, promote development, and ensure responsible governance. Challenges of corruption. Corruption poses significant challenges to societies, governments, and economies. It undermines trust, hampers development, distorts markets, and perpetuates inequality. Here are some key challenges associated with corruption. 1. Erosion of trust. Corruption erodes trust in public institutions and undermines citizens' confidence in government. When public officials engage in corrupt practices, it damages the trust between the government and the citizens, leading to a loss of faith in the fairness and effectiveness of public institutions. 2. Impediment to development. Corruption hampers economic and social development. It diverts public funds and resources away from their intended purposes, hindering investments in essential sectors such as education, healthcare, infrastructure, and poverty alleviation. The misallocation of resources due to corruption can lead to inefficient and ineffective service delivery, limiting progress and development. 3. Inequality and poverty. Corruption exacerbates inequality and perpetuates poverty. It often benefits a select few at the expense of the majority, widening the gap between the rich and the poor. Corrupt practices can limit access to basic services and opportunities for socio-economic advancement, creating a cycle of poverty and exclusion. 4. Distorted market conditions. Corruption distorts market conditions and stifles fair competition. It creates an uneven playing field where businesses or individuals with corrupt connections gain unfair advantages over competitors. This undermines market efficiency, deters investments, and hampers economic growth. 5. Undermining rule of law. Corruption undermines the rule of law by subverting legal and regulatory systems. It weakens the effectiveness of law enforcement agencies, compromises judicial independence, and undermines the functioning of democratic institutions. This erodes the foundations of a just and equitable society. 6. Security and stability. Corruption poses risks to security and stability. It can fuel organized crime, money laundering, and terrorism financing. Corrupt practices within security forces can undermine their effectiveness and compromise national security. Corruption also weakens governance systems, making societies more vulnerable to internal and external threats. 7. International reputation. Corruption damages a country's international reputation. It can deter foreign investments, hinder international cooperation, and diminish diplomatic standing. Countries with high levels of corruption may face restrictions, sanctions, or negative perceptions from the international community. 8. Difficult to combat. Corruption presents significant challenges in terms of detection, investigation, and prosecution. It often operates in secretive and complex ways, involving networks of individuals and institutions. Overcoming corruption requires a comprehensive and multifaceted approach, including strong legal frameworks, effective enforcement mechanisms, whistleblower protection, and public awareness campaigns. Addressing the challenges of corruption requires a commitment to good governance, transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. It involves strengthening institutions, promoting ethical leadership, engaging civil society, empowering citizens, and implementing anti-corruption measures at all levels. By tackling corruption, societies can create an environment that promotes equitable development, enhances trust, and fosters sustainable progress.